going now. Just waiting for Alan to do his thing. I'll do it, Alan. Disclaimer. Welcome to Two Cops, One Donut podcast. The views and opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Two Cops, One Donut, its host, or affiliates. The podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. We do not endorse any guests' opinions or actions discussed during the show. Any content provided by guests is of their own volition, and listeners are encouraged to form their own opinions. Furthermore, some content is graphic and has harsh language. Viewer discretion advised and is intended for mature audiences. Two Cops, One Donut and its host do not accept any liability for statements or actions taken by guests. Thank you for listening. All right, welcome back. Two Cops, One Donut. I'm your host, Erik Lavigne. I got with me my co-host, Banning Sweatland. And our special guest tonight is the one and only Copville. What's up, brother?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me, guys.
Not a problem, sir. So behind the scenes, Alan is doing his thing, and he got a little premature. He got excited. he even fucking started that show 20 seconds early. He's like, you know what? We're going now. So
off we go.
Before we get started, I like to make the first 10, 20 minutes about our guest. So we have Copville here, who is a now retired police officer. Give a little background, sir. Tell people who you are.
I'm a moron that just chose to be a cop for about 23 years. I started at a small police department on the east coast of Florida, Vero Beach, and then I graduated to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, where I spent 20 years. I got into narcotics very young in my career, spent about 6.5 years. Worked wiretaps, DA task force, went into regular detective, kind of got into the training stuff late in my career, didn't become an FTO till I was about 12, 13 years in. Had this wild idea that when I was 42, I was going to try for SWAT and made it. Went on to be a street crime sergeant supervisor, U.S. Marshals task force, and left as a RTCC detective in September of last year.
Nice. Okay, so we have a lot in common when it comes to the Real-Time Crime Center
Awesome stuff, yeah.
area.
Yep.
I'm actually a board member for the National Real-Time Crime Center Association. And I start my new position as a sergeant in our Real-Time Crime Center this Monday.
That's
actually
awesome. That's one of the most underused and key pieces of law enforcement that every agency should have.
So what's really interesting about my department that's different than most is we started as an all-sworn 24/7
Very nice.
manned real-time crime center, and we are currently still under that that style. And there's I think Mesa is probably the only one that I know of currently that is still all sworn, and that's how they operate. They're just not 24/7, but it's highly successful.
It's a great thing. And like I said, in Florida, we're a couple years into them now, and I think Orlando PD is one of the most staffed. I think they're running like 8 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Okay.
And there's 3 sworn and then civilians. And then I was the only sworn, but Flagler County has a good one, which is up by Daytona, and it's taking off all over the state.
Nikki North runs that shit up there.
You got a dog. I remember when I went, they have a dog that walks around. Which
Yep.
Us.
Yep. We have one more of our people that are supposed to be joining here sooner or later. We'll see when he jumps on. Trey, he's got a very young kiddo. Like I don't even think a year old. So he
got held up in traffic.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm going over to the chat now and just seeing what everybody's up to. We got David Edmonston in the house. Just giving shout outs to our regulars. Was waiting 32 updates. YouTube. What's next? Love it. Constitutional Country Girl. Tim. I want to give a shout out to Tim. Tim was helping Alan all day today. They were trying to get us up and running live on Instagram and TikTok simultaneously. So I don't know if it worked. We'll see. That's it. Have you run into that on doing your stuff? Have you tried going live on YouTube, Facebook, and then also,
this is my actual connecting to this time to YouTube is my first live. I used to go live on my big account on Copville when it was massive. I would go live a lot, but I'm on my 7th episode coming out tomorrow on my podcast, so I haven't done any live stuff. So this is the first one.
Give a shout out to Country Girl. She just gave out 10 memberships. Thank you very much. Looking down the list, everybody knows the drinking game. If Marine Blood did not get a we have this guy. He's been a part of the show since we pretty much got started doing the live streams. People will gift these memberships just about every show. He's never gotten one. So it's become such a running gag that now it's a drinking game, that every time Marine Blood doesn't get an account, everybody's got a drink. So
I got my Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. Now, when I do drink, I don't know where you're a Southern guy. I'm Northern. I'm from Michigan originally. So
I'm from
pop.
Jersey, dude.
Oh, you from Jersey? Oh, you guys say pop.
No, I didn't say pop. I said
you didn't say pop? Oh, not sure over there. Michigan's kind of, they call it Midwest, but I think that's stupid because we're east of the Mississippi. Alan, I don't know what you got going on in the background there, bud, but you are.
I'm about to kill it. I just was saying my crap broke right when I pressed start the stream. So.
Oh, I got you. Well, you're not.
Right.
You firing it up now?
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'll be back in a minute.
Sounds good. Harrison Brock's trying to throw out some memberships as well. Thank you, sir. I'm looking down the list to everybody that got one. And guess who did not get one again? Thank you very much.
And real quick to Harrison, I get a ton of messages on LinkedIn. I know you sent me one. I'm going down the list, brother. I get to them one by one. I will get to you.
Copville, I'm sure you can empathize with this, that we have 100,000 plus people. We get messages constantly.
Full-time job.
It is a full-time job.
You know his joke. Your wife gets on you for having your phone in your hand, all that stuff. Then you realize you really didn't need it in your hand.
Yeah.
So you get over, even now, almost back to 30,000. I put my phone down. And
so what? Okay. First off, why did you start Copville? What was the point behind it?
So I went through a nasty IA back in, I always get it wrong. My wife gets mad. 2022. 2023, what year is it? 2023, May of 23, or that year, 23 at the beginning. I went through a nasty IA, I got demoted, and it was a political hack hunt, and I cover that on multiple podcasts. I'm not going to bore you with it.
No worries.
But as like a get back, I started making memes about my own agency as a joke. And back then it was one of the pages I followed was 10-8 memes. He kind of disappeared. He was one of the first big meme pages, and I started sending them to him. And he's like, bro, these are pretty good. You should start a meme page. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't know what that is. And then one day I was like, fuck it. I started, and I was like, Hoodville is, I don't know if you follow Hoodville or see Hoodville memes. He's a popular, like 9 million. He's all like funny hood memes. I was like, well, Hoodville, very popular. Copville. I'm like, simple, right to the point. So I started posting them, and I caught fucking hell, but I went from 0 to 12,000 in like 2 months. And just
no shit. Off.
And then it went crazy, and I ended up peaking at under 2 years before I lost my account in February. I was at 135,000 in about 20 months.
You lost. So how did that happen?
So they hate, obviously the Instagram hates Republicans, hate cops, hate anything to do with the government. And, the AI stuff they use to fucking track the stuff is garbage. So anything to do with a gun. Well, first of all, I went after the TikTok cops, and I think they mass report everything. And I was friends with the anti-TikTok guys. So those people,
what are they on 6.0 now?
Yeah. And then the other thing was anything, like I posted a Jerry Worms cops episode, literally a cops episode, like 20-second clip, flagged for government political views and violence and all this garbage. And I'm like, what? So it started adding up. And then right about 2 weeks before I lost it, I got hit with all the red dots. I had everything. I was banned from live for a year. I was banned from being seen for a long time. And then I woke up the morning of February 27th, and my business partner at the time texted me. He's like, "Are you alive?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "The page is gone." I'm like, "You gotta be shitting me."
Oh no!
And I'd been banned before, but I just appeal it and it comes right back.
Yeah,
it didn't work. I appealed it, and I can log in. And when I log in, it says, your appeal's been taken. We'll be in touch in a few business days. I even went as far as the blue check mark my podcast account and my regular personal account.
Yeah,
chat feature, and I've chatted twice, 2 hours with help, begging, and they don't want to do anything about it. So I kind of consider it gone at this point.
Gotcha. So one of our followers, Harrison Brock, he actually made this photo, sent it to us, and he goes, "You should share the photo." So that's what he was talking about in the chat. This is a recent video. For those that don't get the joke, well, one, there's a cop that lost his absolute mind from an acorn, which I think everybody gets that part, but I posted a video recently. I have no idea what agency it is.
Waterbury, Connecticut, Westbury, something Bury, Connecticut.
Okay. Yeah, when the video got to us, it had been, Jesus, it had already been redone so many different times. I didn't get a chance to see, but I thought that was a clever. Actually, I think I have the video pulled up. We can jump to that one. Let me see here. Not that one.
Good
Here it
meme
is.
material.
What's that?
Good meme material.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I've already dumped 3 of them out. And they've all done really well.
Let me share this one. So for those that aren't familiar with this video, let me share what the inside joke is here. So I'll give you a little backstory. Apparently, it's a burglar alarm of a home, residential home, and they're out clearing the house. So I'll just go from here.
Izzo was right.
Holy shit. So I have been known to give cops a rough time when I think that it's a clear training issue. This was obviously a training issue.
That's multi-layered issues there.
Yeah. How are you that spun up? Here's another thing. I turn lights on. I don't know about everybody else. I'm a light guy. I'm like, why am I trying to use my flashlight? I'm a light guy. I turn lights on.
That's another issue. She's using her gun light.
Yeah.
As a primary.
Yeah. So for you, like, how would you, when we're going into it, I like this to be educational for everybody. So we get a house alarm. How do you typically handle a house alarm? I know it's been a while since you was SWAT and all that.
No, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. I don't know their tactics. If it's not pressing, we developed from Orange County Sheriff's Office a CQB procedure where that would be pressing. It's an active burglary alarm. So you would be 2-man minimum. We try to go 3 at minimum. But I mean, you can tell there's no real semblance of order even in the male officer, that they're not close. There's a big disconnect of how close they should be staying close. There's breaching doors together. There's all kinds of stuff that should be going on. He's been in a staircase. She's way behind him. So I don't, clearing the house the way it is dark, fine. But I wouldn't use my gun light, as I always carried the light on my shoulder or here, cloud defense light, and then I had a gun light, and gun light was for like identifying when I was getting ready to pull the trigger.
Right.
This light is an admin light that I'm going to use to shine at the mirror and look around corners and stuff like that. So nothing wrong with clearing it that way, but there's a multitude of issues that I personally don't think she can be. I don't think she can be a cop anymore. The first thing that comes to my head is target identification. How can you ever testify if she ever shoots anybody going forward? How can they say she has any idea what is she shooting at because she shot it herself?
Right.
I mean, how do you didn't identify that target as you? So I don't know how you go for, and I don't feel bad for her. I mean, I do. I don't hate her, but how do you come back from that? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Banning, what do you got, buddy?
The whole video froze on me, and you guys.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So
I'll give you the rundown. She's clearing. She starts to walk back downstairs, and she clears to her left as her partner is going right. She sees a mirror and shoots the mirror. Yeah. Shoots herself.
All I got on that is target identification.
Yeah, that's the first thing I went to. My wife's a big firearms instructor and teaches all that stuff. And it's you have to pull the trigger at a target. We don't do suppressive fire in the police world, and so there's no like laying some rounds downrange to get a head start.
Even in the Marine Corps back in the 90s, early 2000s, I mean it's target identification all day long. We were supposed to be jarheads on the front line, shooting anything that moves. I mean, those are just jokes, but it's always target identification.
Yeah. I love our comment section. Freeman Keys. She'll be a sergeant next month.
The comments were, I posted it. So I think I got it. I think I got real early. I got a DM from a guy that said, dude, you're not gonna believe this. And I said, can I share it? He said, fuck it. Somebody sent it to me. And I put it up immediately. Not even a meme. I'm just, let me get this thing out there. Yeah. And it went wild. And then I went on my other page and made a joke meme about it. And then I posted 2 today with female mirror.
I want to help you get back to your glory days, which I think will get you there soon enough. But I'm going to share Copville's page so you guys can see his new page.
My two memes.
What's that?
There's the two memes.
Yeah.
You got the female pointing herself a gun in the mirror, and then you got the mirror with its hands up.
Yep.
And that video right next to it. Yeah, Copville at Copville OG is my main page, and then I have the
yep. And then you've also got
page.
Oh, that's me. You don't want to see me. That's not what I'm trying to find. Where is the other one? I had both popped up here. Give me a sec. I'm gonna find it. That's it.
Yeah, that's my podcast page.
Yeah. So let's get those numbers up, guys.
Appreciate
Everybody in the audience, if you're looking, go there, give them a follow. If it's for you. Obviously, if it's not your style, then don't follow.
It won't fit everybody, but
yeah. You guys know me. I'm a part of everybody's cool shit. And Copville puts out legit stuff. Copville gives me shit when I fuck up.
you got to.
Yeah, I
like the background.
I was what's that?
Somebody's saying about the background. That was my idea. Was a jail cell.
Oh yeah. Got shotguns and tattoos. She's been with us for a while.
I was on Amazon. I'm like, what? So I Googled. All I did was Google like jail background draw, and it's like the thing you would go to JCPenney's and get some cheesy pictures taken with at with your family. So and then I installed the lights. The lights I think gives it that little purple tint. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, mine's much simpler than that.
It looks good. I mean, you got the city over here. I mean,
we're trying to get Banning on board. Banning needs a lot of things. Banning needs a new camera. Banning needs a mic.
You learn quick what you need.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get more into Copville. So, sir, what is coming down the line? You got your podcast. Now, what can people expect from your podcast?
So what I'm trying to do is it'd be a little different. There's a lot of I'm not knocking it, but there's a lot of podcasts where it's a lot of just law enforcement talk. Tell me about your calls you've been on, the standard question. I'm trying to be a little different. Since I started, I've had 2 guys that worked with me, but one of them was shot in the line of duty who has a lot of, something critical. I brought in a 6th degree black belt BJJ instructor that trained under Carlson Gracie that teaches law enforcement. I had Dominic Izzo coming out tomorrow, controversial dude. I had a deputy chief that got shit canned from his agency, second in charge, and gets ran out of an agency and has like a monster story about corruption within the agency. So I'm trying to bring a little bit different, and I'm going to actually start getting into bringing the other side in. I have a former federal inmate that's going to be coming up that did 9 years in the feds, and then I have another guy that's going to probably blow the roof off everything that I actually was involved in many of his investigations, and it was sentenced to like 20 years, 25 years in federal prison. Biden commuted him. He got out, he started his own show, and we have been in the early talks of some massive, like what he was doing and what we were doing and how it kind of coincides, their version of counter surveillance, our version of surveillance. And so I'm trying to be a little bit different than just your standard, talk about calls and it's important. It's important to talk about that, but bringing some, guys have been to prison, bringing some guys that can shed some mind aspect on, and that is the benefit I have. Obviously you can't have a federal prisoner in your studio. Wouldn't look good. So for me, being not on the job anymore, I have a little bit more leeway. And then counterculture is that we talked earlier, is the group of guys where we're trying to, with Anti-Hero and Tyler and Reagan from Conduct Unbecoming, Justin from Donut Shop, Kenny Red Ninja, Guerrilla Warfare Tactics. We're kind of, Izzo's coming in. We're kind of putting that together as a counterculture, like a different view of law enforcement where it's not just always said politically correct. It's said how we believe it should be said. So that's what's coming.
Right. I like it. Yeah, that's obviously we have to be a little more measured, but we've had, I've had a guy that was wrongly convicted of homicide, had another guy that was wrongly convicted just in the crime and punishment phase that they gave him, and generally did 26 years of a 52-year sentence before he finally got exonerated. We try to have both sides of the house.
Yeah.
We do the same thing. You see the reels and shorts that we'll put out quite a bit, trying to call out, if a cop does bad, but we also like to highlight when they do good.
Yep.
So
I just stayed away. I'm getting to that. I stayed away from it because here's one of my pet peeves with the meme pages. The guys that hide behind the name, and I'm not knocking it if you decide to be anonymous, but don't spew your opinion and your your take on things without, you should have to qualify your background. And that's why I stuck to memes. I never got into the shootings. I never got into the breakdowns because I didn't feel as a hidden page. Like I could be anybody I want behind that page. I could be not even a cop, but I can make some cop memes and say, hey, I got this take. I got that take. So I went into it in the comedy area of let's make some people laugh. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's be funny. And now that I'm out and I do have a resume that I can share, and I don't think I'm a moron. I never claim to be greatest cop ever, but I've done some things. So now it's like kind of walking that, but I want to keep it more like in an entertainment facet versus just, constantly law enforcement stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it for sure. And it is a delicate balance because like when I fuck up, like it happens.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like with the one that me and Copville were talking about, and actually I'll just pull it up because I actually shared it on the last live stream talking about how bad I fucked up.
Oh, well, you own it though. That's the difference.
Well, yeah.
And that's, there's so many guys out there, once they put their opinion out online,
they'll die.
How many times they've been proven.
That's your CQB firearms guys. They just stand there and just their way is the only fucking way.
That's
right.
Only way.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm pulling it up right now. And we are on my page. And what one was that one? It was not that. God, I do post a lot of shit, don't I?
It's been about 2 weeks, right? Week and a half.
Has it been that long?
Because I talked to
here it is.
Last week.
Yeah, I found it. Okay, I'm gonna share screen. Share screen. Biggie size. Oh, I can't size this stuff. So unmute. It was this one I fucked.
Accidentally uses her pew pew instead of using a taser.
There's my comment.
Yeah. Now watch what this idiot says.
I don't know the whole background of this story, but I do know it was for a felony and that this guy was resisting arrest. That's why they were wrestling around on the ground. I want to give quick props to that officer that did the takedown. It was a legit takedown. Good technique. I'm typically pretty happy when officers decide to go hands-on versus going to the Batman belt if the situation dictates that possibility.
Okay, we'll pause it from there because that's the worst part.
That's the worst. Those comments is right there.
Yeah, mine's the top one right there.
Yeah. Well, I had pinned it for a while because I like to be transparent. So I was like, well, fuck, he's right. Let me pin this to the top so everybody knows.
Oh, I forgot to mention Tone Alert. Another great group of guys. They're yelling at me in the comments.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're good dudes. Tone Alert out of Las Vegas.
There they are. Yeah, we'll give them a shout out. Tone Alert Podcast. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining in. Glad we paired up
until they schedule the Vegas show. I'm not going to mention them.
Okay, well, all right. Go away. Tone Alert. Fuck y'all. Oh, too funny. But yeah, I screwed up on that one. And it's one of those things. I edited. This is not an excuse, although it sounds like an excuse. I edited that one from my phone, and when I watched it, I watched that thing in slow. I put it in slow motion for myself and watched. I'm like, God damn, that's a good takedown.
It happens quick, but
and then afterwards, you're like, it's not even the fucking cop got taken down. I'm like, what? No, let me go back and look at this shit. I'm watching. I'm like, oh.
I'm on and I'll be honest with you, I'm on the fence on now. I get your argument that she shot her gun on accident, but the result was actually, I don't know if the result was wrong, because if you take her taser out of it, if your partner's getting curb stomped like that and you run up, you have a right to shoot that guy.
Oh, correct.
Your argument about it was an accident, that's obviously like the mirror. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But her action, I don't know that it was a problem.
Was justified. Yeah, it ended up being justified in court. So I'm with you. And that was my bad. I had a shitty articulation. And I watched it again. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's right. I see what it looks like. I'm saying that's not what I meant, but you can't control it once it's out there. You have already said what you wanted to say.
And I'll give you props there. You could have just deleted it and act like it didn't happen, but you engaged with all the comments and you did own that you were wrong about.
Massively fucked up. It happens, man. I'm a fucking human.
I'm wrong all the time.
Yep. It fucking happens. People in the comments. Erik only screws up when he's been drinking. That's not true. I screw up a lot. So is what it is. Oh God, my mom's in the comments and I'm hearing people are Erik won't help. Don't talk to my mom.
My mom hasn't seen one episode of my stuff.
Oh, my mom, she has not missed a single one. I got my mom supports the shit out of me. I could be up here just talking out of my ass, and she'd be like, "That's my baby."
I guess it could be good or bad.
Good or bad, she don't care. She'll support. She will support me, but she'll call me an ass.
No, that's good.
She'll be like, that's wrong. I love that you're out here doing something, but you're a dumbass. She'll tell me for sure. But okay, where are we at? We're how deep in are we? We're 25 minutes in. We have a lot of videos tonight, guys. So I want to jump into that. I want to go to. We really haven't gone to the comments, and we haven't had a discussion topic today. Is what it is. So first and foremost, I want to go with our boy Daniel Carr from Police Law News. He put out a good video today, so I want to share this one, and we will watch it together. Share, boom. Okay. I want you guys, and again, I apologize because it is on Instagram, so I can't make it full screen. But I guess we need volume.
Let's do that.
Sorry, bro.
Are you straight,
So
bro?
you do have that warrant though. So whenever you get out of the hospital tomorrow, you need to go settle down with Morgan County.
I'm gonna go. I promise.
Okay.
I swear to God. I'm not trying to spend nobody, bro.
Okay.
We all family at the end of the day. I'm just trying to rock my black and just go smoke with black.
So this guy's got a warrant. Sounds like the cops are gonna let him go.
It's the hard. I'm sorry, bro.
We good, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, be safe.
I appreciate you, man.
If you need anything, just holler.
Yeah, you know how time?
10 minutes now.
So now we got a
This guy
different
get on
scene.
here for 20 minutes. And
I'm gonna pause it. So I've already got the benefit of I've watched. Have you seen this one yet, Copville?
No.
Banning, did you see this one? He's a little choppy all of a sudden. Steve has made me 5 shots down already. We have a troll. His name's Steve. Steve. I don't boot people, Copville. I don't know if you know this. I'm a free speech type of guy. As long as you're not inciting racism or violence.
Yeah, I think I only have 13. I checked yesterday. I had 13 people blocked on my out of almost 30,000 followers.
Yeah,
that are just morons that don't have a place. But anybody else can say whatever they want. Yeah.
So I let him stay on here because he just says the same thing over and over. It's fine as long as he's not messing with people. But I have not watched this. Trey's finally on. Let's get him up here. Boom. What up, Trey?
What's the deal, man? What's the deal?
He's over there represent. What is that? 210 or 510?
That's 210, man. 210.
210. Okay. Well, you're for whatever reason you're mirrored. Let me fix you. How do I fix it? I can't. Okay, I tried. Oh no, Eric's dodging the Biggie size phrase. I can't say Biggie size. It doesn't change sizes on here, guys. So, anyway, let's keep going. So this is another scene. This is the same dude. They let him go. He had a warrant, so the officers did him a solid. Didn't take him in on his warrant. So kudos to the cops for bigger picture sight.
you've been here longer than I have, so we need to do something, John. Okay? Because if you don't, then you need to turn around for me. You turn around for me then if you want to go.
Police already. Police been already out here already, man. My brother, the last 3 of the tag.
You have the warrant.
Okay, so they're telling him he's under arrest. He needs to turn around, put his hands behind his back. They have a warrant. Basically, I think they're tired of coming out here and having to deal with him. So they're going to make good on the warrant. Banning, you got anything else on that?
No, I don't have a problem with them doing that. I mean, it looks like he's tying up a lot of
resources
on services right now. So
yeah, and a lot of times cops, and some of them won't admit it, we use the ambulance system because we are trying to avoid taking a person to jail. It's a waste of time. They're going to go to jail. They're going to get let out within less time than it takes me to get the report done. So that could be what's going on here. So let's keep watching.
You have the warrant. They want you. They want you.
So that's 1646 right there?
Yes. That's mine. Turn around.
Which way?
Face her.
Which way?
Her. Look at her.
Hold on 1 second. Can I spin around?
Yes, go ahead and spin around.
Go ahead and spin around. 1636.
2 times.
Spin around, John. Okay.
3 times.
Just make it easy for us. Okay. Just turn around. Just look at her.
4 times.
Can you follow us? 1630 to 1636. Since you the newest one.
That's
I know.
my.
I'm sorry. I got a good reflection. I see you. Look, they've been talking. I'm sorry.
Come on.
All right, let's go, man.
Yeah, face her.
Let's
go.
5 times.
Turn around for me. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Turn
6,
around.
7.
My neck is broken.
Okay, let me see your hand.
Look. Oh, wait,
Look.
hold on.
No, look.
Sir,
Look.
sir, hold on.
Look.
We all in this together.
All right.
Man, will you get this on? Hold on. I don't, listen,
Just-
I'm sorry.
Just
I
turn
might
around,
get
John.
hurt, sir. I might.
We're not gonna
God,
hurt you.
if you turn around, put your hands on
Clean,
me.
John.
Come on, man.
There you go. John, wait.
Got that itis.
Fuck.
Stand up. Stand up.
36.
Come on, Philly.
I got you. Ah, shit! Ah! Ah, my neck! My neck! Oh, shit! My neck! Ah!
John.
Sorry! Ah!
Turn over.
Police! Turn over.
That's not nice.
Sorry. I'm trying! Ah! No! Ah! 1636! I'm sorry, police! No! Ah!
John, turn over.
1636! Oh!
Gotta hold it.
I got him! I'm sorry, sir!
Turn around,
No!
John.
Ah!
Let go of my
Ah! 1636!
John,
Police! Ah!
Drive thunder.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
Sorry. Ah!
Turn around.
Ah!
Turn around on your belly.
On your belly. I'm trying. On your
belly.
Oh! I'm so getting bro! Fuck! Ah!
Stay right there. Don't move.
Sorry, 1636.
Don't move.
Put your hands behind your back now. I'm trying.
Put it behind your back. Stop. Don't turn around.
I'm trying.
Give me your hand.
I want to do.
You got one?
Ah!
Yeah.
I got one. Thank you, Lord. Hold on.
Give me this arm. John, give me this arm.
Red light.
Give me the arm, John.
Still don't have his arm.
Hold that.
Ah! 1636.
There you go.
I got this back here.
It's behind. He grabbed my fucking thigh. Let go of my fucking thigh. I'm pushing the fence.
Oh!
Give me your arm.
1636.
Give me your arm. I got it.
All right. 1636. Slippers. Put your other arm behind your back.
Come on, man. Don't punch in the fucking face if you don't do it. I got this one. I got this one.
Arm back there.
Oh, shit. You fucking give us that arm. This your fucking arm. Drive stun.
Drive stun. 1636.
Give me your arm.
Oh, no.
He's not feeling anything.
Dude, let me give him another. Give me another
strike.
No!
Give me your arm.
1636!
Give it.
Oh, shit!
Give me your arm.
I'm good.
Give me your arm.
1636. We good.
John. Give us your goddamn arm.
Oh, move your hand. 1636. We good. 1636. We good.
I got his arm behind me. Somebody grab it.
Sorry, no.
Somebody grab it.
Help, 1636.
I'm grabbing. I'm on it. He's holding on to me. I'm on his arm.
Come on, man. Give us your hand.
I'm on his arm. Well, let's ride with them then. Let's do that.
Sorry, bro.
Are you straight, bro?
You do have that warrant though, so whenever you get on
That's the beginning of it, isn't it?
Yep. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Okay, rookie. Late boy.
Yeah, what's the deal, man?
Always fucking late. Always
Come on, man.
late.
You know how it is.
Traffic. Son of a bitch. You probably late for roll call every day.
Nah, not every day.
So Trey, this is Copville. Copville, this is Trey. Trey is our 3-year rookie out of California.
How's it going?
Solid, bro. Solid.
He's a rookie?
He's a rookie.
Yeah,
How
man,
green?
yeah.
How green?
3 years.
3 years.
Ooh,
yeah.
man, you're not even 5 years is when you can start calling yourself a cop.
Right?
I agree. I'll take that.
All right, rookie. Tell us how you would have handled this call.
I probably would have just put hands on a lot quicker. Like, you always want to give people a chance to give up on their own and go with the program, but I don't know, all that back and forth so many times, that shit is unnecessary. But and then I don't think, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of drive stun, but if you're gonna tase, just do it from a distance, I feel like, or do it with the prong still in. But also, I'm not opposed to punching someone in that situation, or I wouldn't say punching, but striking someone.
Hell yeah.
Is a better way of saying it. But yeah, I would say do that because You gonna tase somebody? I feel like they stunned him like what 3 times? Like
a shitload.
Yeah, people would say that's a force. Like people could definitely argue that rather than like one punch or one strike to the face or to the stomach or a knee to the stomach.
Let me clarify. Let me make sure I'm gonna get some clarification. Are you telling me that when you try to de-escalate too much, you end up using more force later?
Yes, absolutely. Hell yeah.
Then if you would have handled business up front?
Yeah, if you give people too much confidence, then you end up using more force at the end of it. So once you know they're not going with the program, like once you know that, okay, this dude his mind's made up, he's not going with the program, then I don't know. To me, you got to go hands on right away. There's no more like, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? Bro, I asked you 4-5 times. Nah.
Patrick Trey won't be out of rookie status until he learns the difference between a magazine and a clip.
Oh, here you go. You cannot let
You messed up that one, bro.
Clip?
You said that shit on a live stream one night.
Yeah, I for sure did.
Oh shit! I blame the youth and the rap music. You have to talk Erik's language. Star Wars. Trey is a Wookiee. Oh shit! That was from my mom. Mom, that was a good one. I give her credit.
Dang, mom's is on me. That's
ain't even normally that funny. That was a good one, Mom. I'll give you credit on that one. Not bad. That's a good dad joke right there.
That's cold, Mom. That's cold.
So, all right. I'm going to let our guest go on this one. What do you think, man?
I'm not a fan of the drive stun either. The point of the taser is to incapacitate, to then move in while they're under power and then gain an advantage. So I'm a zero fan of drives. I'm not saying it could never be applicable, but the punch and the drive stun are pretty much the same thing. They're pain.
Right.
You have quite a few officers there. That's where some basic side control, ground control, peeling arms back, coordinating. There were 7 guys working in 7 different directions, or however many guys were there. I don't know how many there were, but that was multiple cops working as individuals instead of working as a team. That was the biggest thing I saw. Multiple commands coming from multiple people. I understand the stress kicks in, and in SWAT we train that. The one guy gives commands, and we're pretty well trained in that. But that's a bunch of independent contractors all working separately, and a simple training, jiu-jitsu training, ground training would, to me, eliminate what we just saw, or at least speed up the process. Because he really wasn't. That guy was not wanting to get really. He wasn't fighting. He was resisting.
He was just
how long. Imagine if he's a big dude. Imagine if he decided to start throwing punches and stand up and start kicking and all that. That would have been a disaster. Like a disaster. So that's another.
Y'all gotta chill.
That's racist. You can't say that. You gotta say, Mr. B's on a fucking roll tonight. He did not like being silenced. Copville. I accidentally, one of our top contributors, I accidentally banned him trying to block another dude. It's the Steve guy that I was talking about. I was trying to put Steve on a timeout. I accidentally put Mr. Billfold on a timeout, a 24.
Forgetting it.
Yeah, and he's lit up. So, what were you gonna say, Ben?
What state you in, bro?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
Of Orlando on the beach, just like an hour north of West Palm.
Yeah, he said that earlier.
Yeah, you were late.
Yeah, I was for sure.
I've had my whole resume off. I told everybody how great I was. We missed the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
We're taking 10% out of that check next week.
Yeah, disrespectful. Yeah.
No, all I was going to say, Erik, is 21 years, carried the taser since the end of 2003. Never tasered anybody. I prefer to use body mechanics and take somebody into custody and put somebody on the run.
But Copville, do you know how big this fucking ginger beard giant is?
It's easy when you're 3 bills. You're 3,
right?
He's talking about the guys that just laid down scared and didn't want,
he walk in, he is de-escalation.
Yeah. Rumor has it that a fighting bull got loose in North Texas, and they called Banning to put it back in its cage,
wrestle it down, and drag it back.
Yeah,
it was my cousin. I just told him to get back in there.
Yeah,
that goes both ways, though. Sometimes somebody wants to fight the big guy, so I'm sure he's had those.
Oh, let me tell you,
yeah. Did you ever watch the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when the Ben Stiller, the picture of him taking the bulls by the horn?
Oh yeah.
Photo?
Yeah.
That was actually a real life story about Banning and patrol. So, just so you guys Now, what I will add to the conversation is drive stuns. As far in my career, anytime it has been used, a drive stun, it always makes the suspect flop around. And then what ends up happening is the people that are trying to hold on to him take that for more resistance. And then they end up getting worked even more. I hate drive stun. I do not like it at all.
And then today, I don't know if you guys know it, the trial started up in, where was that?
Michigan.
Yeah.
For sure.
The guy lost his taser. So that's another thing. A drive stun is going to cause that person to flail and move. Then they knock the taser out of their hand, then they grab it, and then we kill them. And I'm on the fence about that one too. I mean, that was a tough situation that kid's in. I got a message from one of his partners today to share the story, and the trial started, and you hate to see that.
Yeah,
from everybody's standpoint in that one. That's an unfortunate incident, but that's if that would have happened, that guy gets a hold of a taser in that situation, you may hear gunshots after that, and it all goes back to they had the numbers, they had him pinned in. He wasn't actually fighting; he was just resisting. So that's a tough one.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have that video pulled up, but let's go. So yeah, that was just going to the audience on this one, just seeing what everybody's saying. They don't seem to. They're having more fun with Mr. Billfold and talking about everything. Do y'all recommend taser or OC spray? I will use a taser a lot more than I will use OC, but I carry my OC. I know a lot of cops don't. So for me personally, I like it, but I'm the only one using it. I don't want anybody. I don't trust any of you fuckers to use it. So that's me.
I never used it once. 23 years. Never sprayed anybody.
I've never used my baton, but I have used pepper spray.
I use my baton. No, I'm not gonna say why. I use my baton in some situations. I can't. Well, I'm retired. It went in some people's mouths that were eating crack early in my career.
Oh shit!
They can't chew the crack if the asp is in their mouth.
God damn! No, I never.
We were getting away with that in Florida back in like 2003, 4, 5, 6. We were good with that.
Damn. Well, it talks about the culture of policing and how it's changed and where
we actually went to the judges and we're like, hey, we're choking people with crack in their mouth to get it out. And they're like, it's tampering with evidence. You're saving their life. And there was a good window there for about 5 or 6 years where they were actually prosecuting the tampering felony charge without even recovering the dope. If we could testify that it appeared to be crack, that's all the guys would do is just throw it in their mouth, come out of the hood, chew it up when you got them pulled over.
Right.
I got really good at swiping their mouth with the business card so I could test it. Then I could verify it was with cobalt that it was actually crack that went in their mouth.
Holy shit.
I would carry my business cards for the people here and one or two in each pocket. So if I was fighting with a guy, I could reach in my pocket, just rub it across his face.
Damn. That is pretty good. That was before my time. I wasn't even a cop yet.
2004. I worked with a guy, Christian Matheson was my partner. He's a lieutenant, still there. And he was the king of the set him up for that crack in the mouth. I knew it was coming because he would start getting them in position. He was a shorter guy. So we'd have him come in the back of the car. He'd be like, come on back here, man. He's like, well, lean up against the bumper to get him lower. And then next thing you know, that hand came out of nowhere. Pow, right in there.
So let me ask you this. Now, looking back on your career, was all that worth it?
Yes.
It was worth
it was because at that time, those people were breaking in everybody's shit, stealing everybody's shit, and everybody said it was just drugs. There's two arguments. It's just drugs. I don't care about drugs. I care about DUIs. I care about, but man, when you show up to some of the worst calls I had were like, I remember going to a Hispanic dude, lawn guy. All he has in his life is his lawn business, and his lawn trailer is clean the fuck out. No lawnmower, no weed eater, no backpack blower. And he's looking at me. He's like, sir, how am I going to pay my bills? Like, I can't go to the store and buy another one. I can't. So when you deal with enough property crimes in that sad manner where somebody's like livelihood is completely gone, yeah, it's not robbery. They're not, but it hurts to see people. And that's what we were getting. Those crackheads that were buying crack were doing the most ungodly things, stealing their mom's.
No motherfuckers steal anything.
Yeah, their mom goes to the bank and the fucking water bill bounces. They got no electricity because the fucking son's smoking crack and stealing their wallet. And so I took offense to that, and we hit them pretty hard.
And so you dealt with the Smurfs like I did back in the day, the guys that were going into friggin' Walgreens, CVS, all the friggin' pharmacies and 2s and 3s. Yep. Once the federal government finally said you can only buy so much Sudafed.
I went through it.
Yeah. I mean, I had great pharmacists all over the area that would say, hey, here they come. And, we'd have to develop our own probable cause beyond that. But it was amazing. I mean, they were mixing this stuff in the backseat of a friggin' station wagon.
No, we stopped many mobile meth labs.
Oh my God, just it was horrible. Absolutely.
That was before they got into the whole one pots too. They were still doing it in the old way, the phosphorus, and then they got into the one pot with the lithium batteries, and you had to be careful reaching around soda bottles and stuff in the woods. The homeless camps, they would cook it in the fucking homeless camp, and you pick it up.
Remember they I don't know if you probably got the warning on the propane tanks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you had that blue collar on there, it's like fucking back off that thing. And get the right people in there to deal with that. I mean,
the only thing I really didn't deal with was heroin. Down here, we didn't have heroin. It blew right over. We never got, like, the Northeast had the heroin up north. We didn't have the heroin down here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to murder Tim. It's like, I'm gonna have Erik's mom's number. Jesus. Oh, Mom, don't be giving your number out. What's wrong with you?
Oh boy.
Oh, she sent me a text. Anyway, yeah, I just was curious on what your thought was, after having the career. Like, I was a dope chaser early in my career, and it was a lot of fun. And then I was getting frequent flyers, and I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, I was actually considering joining NARC, and I was like, this would be fun, da 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 da. And then I saw the writing on the wall. NARC wasn't what it used to be, where you could set up and go after, now everything was worked through confidential informants, and you just didn't get to work NARC the way that the glory days, the 80s and 90s.
But you're in a big area. What it did for me in moderate area, we have 250,000 people in the county, and it's small enough that the dope work led to many homicide cases being solved, because I had so many informants and so many people that would tell me things,
right,
that I always consider, and I told my trainees that when I was in FTO, like, fuck the dope cases up, ruin them, get suppressed, make the stop, cross the gray area. That's the training ground for the residential burglary, the homicide, the sexual battery. You don't want to fuck that one up. So make the mistakes in the dope. But the connections I made in dope and the homicides I saw like 4 homicides from dope informants that would call and say, hey man, I know this guy did this. This is how I know. And that's where chasing the dope around kind of benefited. In a big place like you, I can understand where it's just so many people, you wouldn't be able to develop that many informants. And you guys are massive. So
yeah,
a smaller area like me, it really, people still call me. I'm like, bro, I'm done. They're like, come on. I'm done,
bro,
man.
Help me out.
Nope, I'm done, man. You want to be on the podcast? I'll bring you in, man.
Yeah.
I'm at the search you in the driveway. We have to leave all your needles.
Yeah. Don't take offense to this, but turn around, put your hands on the car.
There's no Fourth Amendment in this fucking house. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Trey, you get your mic issues fixed, or are you still muting and unmuting?
Nah, I got the fan going, so I don't know if you can hear that or not. That's why I'm on mute.
No, you're good. Actually,
right, cool.
Yeah, hold on.
The only problem now is the backwards hat, man. Other than that, you're good.
Yeah.
You got to flip it inside out, turn it over.
Oh,
yeah. Why you got my shit like that, Erik? Come on, bro.
It's not me. There you go. You good? I fixed it. No. Put it back. Yeah. That's actually you. That's you didn't fix your video settings when you got in.
Nah. That ain't me, bro.
Had you showed up on time, nobody else has that problem.
I think the email said like get in early to go over the technical issues.
Yeah, right.
Rookies.
I ain't see that email.
He's a regular, man. He can, what happens once they're regular.
Yeah, they get comfortable. Typical rookie.
Oh, here y'all go.
Typical rookie. He's like, man, I done seen it all. I can write all the reports, Big Sarge. I promise.
Yeah, I'm ready to be a lieutenant. Yeah. I'm ready to be a lieutenant, man.
Right?
I'm actually a pretty humble new cop, bro. Like I'll be chilling, man.
He's like, look, despite my arrogance, I just want to say I'm humble, and I am also.
I can talk my shit on here. I can talk shit on here.
Hey, did you guys see my post the other day about the Tampa assistant chief with the magazines?
That is
upside
insane.
down.
Upside down.
Right.
How about that?
I said, well, those are gravity fed mag holders. That's what that was.
Out of touch are people.
That's gravity fed mag holders. So for those listening, you guys wondering what we're talking about is this chief. Was it a chief?
It was an assistant chief of Tampa.
I think it was a chief. Yeah, she had a star.
Yeah, she was assistant chief.
She had her gun belt on with her magazine pouch upside down, and then got photos.
They got photos taken in at some event. They put them up, and then ironically, that one was taken down.
And these are going to be the people that are in charge of making decisions about your future and your career.
I was also told she authored a pretty ugly email about the 30 by 30 stuff, and kind of pissed a lot of people off. But when Trump got assassination attempt, and
Oh my
she
God.
basically wrote an email about women and the attack on women, and it didn't go over well over there either.
Admittedly, I actually text Izzo. I was like, dude, I keep seeing people say 30 by 30 in these comments. What the fuck does that mean?
I get that a lot.
I didn't understand that shit at first. I think it was you that posted it, Copville, when I seen
Yeah.
it. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
30% women. We're at 14%. So their initiative is to put an any time, and I'm not against them. He's always swaying me, but I'm not against women in law enforcement. So don't take it like that. But anytime, any statistic, ever try to make a statistic work for the purpose of making a number work.
Yeah,
like if I said I want to hire 100 new cops tomorrow, we're going to hire 100. There ain't no way 100 of them are going to be qualified candidates. Male, female, aliens. So when you start to put a number on things statistically, you have 14% women.
Yeah, like
right now,
like where
all 14% squared away, because 100% of the men are not squared away either. So now you have 14%. You're trying to get another 16% by 2030, which is 5 years from now. You're going to double the women workforce in law enforcement, and I can't say that you can. I don't think it's statistically possible to put 16% more all qualified. Some are going to flunk out. Some are going to not pass. So you're not going to be able to pull that off.
You know, people will disagree with me, but I'm very happy that DOD has reset the standards for cross the line.
Yeah, they can't.
We're talking about special forces and infantry pilots. You got to make that. There's a reason that line is there, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female, because there's a lot of dudes that are friggin' punks that can't get to that standard, and they knew what it was before they even tried. And they're going to try to get a waiver on something. I'm sorry, but waiver equals dead bodies. And the same is going to absolutely translate when it comes to municipalities and here in our friggin' amazing country. So just make the standards equal. You know, if you want to friggin' push your ass and make those standards, you're going to be able to friggin' do it. But don't sit there and, I'm this or I'm that, so it can't be this.
Well, by nature, obviously men are stronger. Not being in any way. Men are stronger, men are bigger. So the number of females that would be able to compete at the same standard is going to be proportionally lower. If they can pass it, then so be it. Like, I'm not against women in law enforcement, but there can't be two standards, and there can't be, especially, and then you get in the military, forget it. You can't have people overseas taking bullets. It just can't be that way. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not a sexist. My wife is a female cop. I mean, I'm not trying to be that way. It just makes sense that you can't have a statistic and do it just for that reason.
Yeah.
And Florida, here's another step. Florida pissed me off. They went to an all women's leadership academy, which to me is like separation. You're segregating again. Why are we pulling things apart? If you want to lead, you're going to have to lead men and women. So why is there a women's only leadership academy now in Florida? It didn't make sense to me when I saw that first academy go through. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
There's a huge problem in leadership training in general in policing. Because I'm military and Banning's military.
I was 11 Bravo.
You're military. So you understand it's day one. Leadership training starts day one. You are supposed to fill the job of the guy that falls in front of you, that's ahead of you. You need to know how to do the job. And it is just ingrained in you culturally in the military that leadership training is the military. I don't know another way to put it. Because there isn't a leadership course until you get way up, and that is for massive amounts of people. But leadership training 101 starts day one of boot camp, and it continues throughout your career. In the police world, you don't even really start getting any leadership training and this is generalized throughout most departments until you've reached a supervisor status. If you're getting leadership training when you become a supervisor, it's too late. You're behind the curve. And the training we're getting is so antiquated. It's asinine. And then you wonder why we have such trouble in policing with these shitty ass leaders.
It goes back to my statement about the fucking email signature, man. That huge email signature doesn't mean anything. You learn. I hate it. There are leadership classes that will benefit. I'm not knocking all of them, but it's paramilitary, and I don't think very much so. But in that area, you are right. Like, you learn leadership by doing the job. You don't learn leadership by getting promoted and then being in charge of people and then figuring out.
That shit don't mean nothing.
You learn leadership by, if you went to the agency right now, any agency, and you got a group of regular dudes together I guarantee their command staff would be 100% most likely different than the command staff that's in place, or very, very different. Because if they were picking based on performance and the ability to do the job and the ability to lead, their command staff would look far different than the one in place, because that's just a continuous roll down of the good old boys that their buddies get promoted. And it's not all the way across the board, but it's pretty prevalent. That's what happens with an agent. I don't know how it is in a big agency, but in a small one, it's bad.
Yeah. A larger agency, I don't think it's as prevalent, but as far as
It's like a mild version of that. Like,
it happens more in specialized units. And for those listening and trying to figure out what we're talking about, good old boy system, you guys probably understand that. In a major city like where I'm at, you can't just pick your favorites. There's steps in place because of the way the city runs it that don't allow for that. But when you get to these specialized units, they figure out ways to circumvent that to get who they want in their specialized unit.
I do hear a lot more specialized unit jokes from the larger, and I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah,
because in our agency, it's the command staff it's all them. They're all in the circle.
Yeah, and ultimately the command staff can, like in the bigger cities like where I'm at, they can mess with a pick. So let's say they have their hiring process to, like me, let's say I want to go to SWAT. They're like, all right, we have an interview process and we have a physical requirement process. So you go through the physical requirement part. There's nothing they can do to argue your score on that, because that's done by the SWAT team. They evaluate it. Here's where you scored. Now the SWAT team can favor that score towards the person that they want the most. So there can be a little bit of fuckery in that. However, they could have their top guy. They can go through their interview process and have a high score for somebody. And then it gets up to the command staff level where they're like, they review your picks and they're like, we want your number 3 pick. That's who you're going to pick. And they take it right out of your hands.
Yeah.
So that is some of the bullshit that can happen, especially if you're pressing for numbers. If me and Banning go against a female for a SWAT position and they're like, well, the SWAT officer, the third one down is a female and she looks good, good enough. We want her instead.
We just had a female get promoted. It's just insane. And I'm not going to go crazy about it because I'm trying not to talk shit about people, but it's pretty bad in the small agencies how they justify things. And
yeah, Banning.
Yeah,
Banning. I don't know if you want to take Houston's comment there.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely 100% accurate. It's you try to, when I consider leadership, it's even the officers, the slick sleeves. That's, you have to have leadership within those ranks, and we would have our leadership problem at that certain agency was getting so bad, we'd have to go and identify it with each officer and get their needs taken care of and this and that because of that leadership. Eventually, that leader was gone, but and then people kind of dispersed and left. But that can happen in big departments and small departments. If you don't have your leadership all on the same level, and then people trying to circumvent and jump around, I understand an open door policy and everything, but we've got to have the right leaders in place to be able for that type of stuff to even work.
I was in common sense, and that doesn't exist. I got promoted to sergeant. I went to patrol for about 9 months, and then they called me to take over a new street crimes unit. And I knew I didn't want to do it, but I got called from the sheriff directly, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell the boss no.
You can't tell the boss no.
And it was back under investigations, and I sat for the first time in a round table Monday morning, higher up meeting, and I thought I was on a fucking another planet. I'm listening to these ideas and these things coming out of these people, lieutenants' mouths, and I'm like everything you could think was the most wrong answer was what they were saying, and I'm just like, am I in another? Did I wake up in another dimension? Like, how is this common sense stuff so difficult? And I immediately knew it was going to be a problem that I was in that room because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Like, they wanted to put, I had 2 guys underneath me. One runs a canine dog, a non-bite sniff dog, and one's a hard charging SWAT guy with warrants unit. They wanted to put them on call for general crimes and homicide. I'm like, these guys have never investigated that type of crime.
Yeah.
Well, the DB's down. We're down numbers. We need bodies. We need more. So I'm like, you need a warm body. So you're going to send a dude that's never investigated even a burglary and on the investigation side to a dead person call and let that happen? Oh, well, and I'm like, bro, like, what fucking planet am I on? Like, that's what I walked into.
Okay. Now, I understand Trey, your mic's giving feedback again. I understand the dumbassery of the comment I'm about to give, but just stick with me and you'll see the wisdom in what I'm saying. Blue Bloods, okay? Cop show. One of my favorite things that this show did was they took I believe it was a street sergeant or lieutenant, one of the two, and they made him an admin spot up with the chief, okay? I think that should be a regular 6-month or maybe let's say annual rotation where there is a person from patrol, whether that's a sergeant or a lieutenant. I prefer a sergeant. I think they have the heartbeat a little bit better. But that should be an advisor to the chief and their counsel or whatever they want.
I think that's an excellent idea.
The whole problem, I think everybody on this panel will agree, is once you reach a certain level, depending on the size of agency, you get so disconnected of what's actually going on the street. And then things come to you in paper form only, and you're there to rule on somebody's career. And you have no freaking clue on what's going on there. And I have a big problem with that. No matter what level that I got to within agencies, I always love popping out and showing up at 2:00 in the morning, going 10-8 on the radio, and just get a text. Why are you out here, sir? Why? You've got to stay in tune of what's going on. Period.
One of our deputy chiefs walks around bragging that he has not worked patrol since 1993, and he's a deputy chief. He's a deputy chief in charge of law enforcement on the patrol side. 1993. Black Hawk, October 3rd, 1993. Black Hawk Down happened in 1993. So that was what I was dealing with in use of forces and pursuits. And I'm looking at this guy, and he's a reasonable supervisor that's supposed to know what's going on in the street.
Man, I don't even think PPCT came out.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Sorry, but I mean,
1993, and he's still there. He's still there. Still there.
He's still there.
Still there.
Oh my God.
Deputy Chief of Law Enforcement.
See, and that's part of my issue with people that are judging, reviewing use of force things on body cam. And I'm like, have you ever worn a body cam in patrol? Do you understand the dynamics behind it? For those listening, if you're ever wondering with body cams, they're not running 24/7. They can't. They physically don't even have the ability to do it. But sometimes, like where I'm at in the entertainment district, shit happens in front of you. And you got to remember to turn that thing on because you didn't get dispatched to a call. Where I'm at, if you get dispatched, the camera has to get turned on once you accept that dispatched call. So you're like, oh, I got a call over here. Cool. Accept, boop, boop, turn your camera on, you drive to that scene. Well, where I'm at, you're on foot and most of the time. And shit's happening all around you. And next thing you know, there's a big fight that breaks out. Well, no one's ever trained you to turn that camera on during a dynamic situation that happens in front of you. But these people that are in charge of you will be the first to judge. Now, luckily, where I'm at, they have never held that against any officer that I've seen. They understood. But if that is an issue, that's something to consider at some of these other agencies. And what did that say? Well, stop turning them off. We're not turning them off.
You know how people want body cams on all day, which that shit will never happen, bro.
Well,
body cams aren't even long.
I hate to tell you this, but they're on all day.
They are.
Yeah, the new ones, absolutely.
The new ones are.
Take a microdata the entire day.
Yep. Oh, Alan just went to the Axon conference, so let him talk here.
Okay, so they just signed an agreement with Safariland that every holster will now have a switch in it. They are also building it for all the mag pouches and all of the handcuff pouches. And so everything, the second you touch anything on your utility belt, it'll turn on.
Unreal.
Okay.
Unreal.
I mean, I'm not against it.
A lot of agencies already have that for the gun, though. Like the moment you pull your gun out, your camera activates.
We've got that. Your taser, if your taser turns on, if the door opens to your patrol car.
Proximity to all the other body cameras. If you're within so many yards of it,
I don't like that though. But that is coming. New. Yeah, I'd heard about that one.
So yeah, we've got the proximity thing already. We've had that for years. If my camera's on and you walk up to the scene and you're within so many feet, it'll turn your camera on as well. And I'm very against muting cameras.
Yep.
I don't think you should be muting your camera ever. If you have a redaction team, that's what they're for.
Exactly.
Let them mute the shit that needs to be muted. I got enough shit to worry about. I'm not muting my stuff, unmuting it, muting it, unmuting it, doing all that shit. If you got tactical stuff to talk about, we'll fucking talk about it. And then let the redaction team redact whatever it needs to be done. But I don't think
So
we should be muting it.
that's an added piece that will go into the new piece is the redaction part, that it will automatically start doing some of that in evidence.com. The higher ups will decide what kind of things get redacted. And so it'll automatically start swifting through that.
Is that a word? Didacted?
Sure, we're going to go with it. A little bit of that vodka stuff in the tea tonight.
Oh, okay. You're not drinking your
then-
Zimas like normal?
No,
Zima.
I got out the good tea tonight.
Man, I got one of those Zima buttons laying around somewhere.
Hey, don't get my team over here fired up. They're gonna
Yeah,
be
the
all
I sit
against
with
you.
Alan
We
will
go,
get all up on us.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag.
I only drank Zima when it was like when I was in high school, but before I was allowed to
Hey,
drink.
you can't hate everybody.
I'm
Come
not
on
hating,
now.
I'm just saying.
Hey, and then the coolest thing that I think really is a safety thing. So you'll be able to hit the side of your body camera and it will translate for you. So if you hit it, somebody's talking a different language, up to 50 different languages, and it will tell you what they're saying, and then you can do it the other way and it will translate it back for them.
Gotcha.
RoboCop, man. Pretty soon we're gonna be robots.
Yep.
I'm answering Freeman Keys. Yes, where I'm at currently, we can mute, but it's very limited when you can. But again, I don't agree with it. But I'm
on the fence. I know when I would pull informants aside, I would mute, and that was strictly non-criminal. That was like completely. But I can see the argument on both sides that it can be redacted.
And I get that as well. But then it comes down to if I have a team that's their job is the redaction stuff or dedaction in Alan's case. If they're out there dedacting, then the responsibility falls on them. Like I'm not going to put that. We've got enough responsibilities. Jesus Christ, how many fucking hats do we got to wear as cops? I'm not wearing another one. I'm not being the dedaction team. Let them do that shit.
I think ours are writing the reports now. They're dictating and writing report. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's a couple spots that are doing that.
Yeah.
Yours doesn't do that now, Eric. It will automatically write your report.
Yeah,
The Axon, they're here.
It's Axon report writing.
Oh, well, we don't have that. That we've got another report writing system that sucks.
Well,
but
you probably have it. You just don't it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gone.
Don't pay enough.
I don't
money
ask my
over
wife
there.
those questions, but I know when I was leaving, they were just getting into the people T&E and the writing software.
I mean, I know it existed. I thought you had to have like whatever Axon's report writing.
You know how I wrote my reports when I started? We called them in on a phone. No, we called them in.
No.
We had a card. It was called Care. And we called in on our phone and we sat there and said, case number, blah, blah, blah. And we talked the whole card and then dictated the entire report from your head into the phone and then hung up. And then some lady typed it for you.
We had a Dictabird. That's a Fred Flintstone joke, if anybody. It's a Flintstone joke.
Imagine that's so much different.
It was weird too, because you'd fuck up and you say something, you're like, and you'd have to hit the button to rewind like the old answer machine days and then stop it and then talk over it. Wild.
Oh, Deadlight got an account. Look at that. Shout out to Harrison Brock. He threw out some accounts for us. Guys, again, anytime people buy these memberships, these super stickers, all that stuff, you are directly helping the podcast. None of that money goes into our pocket. It goes right back into the show. So thank you for doing that. We very much appreciate it. Andy Fletcher got one, another one of our regulars. Congrats to you guys. Mr. Billfold said, I raised 2 sons. We sit to pee in the house, damn it. When my oldest said that kids at school said he pees like a girl, I told them that those kids poop like a girl. Jesus Christ. Somebody get him. Somebody come get this kid. Mr. Billfold is out of control tonight. Take a drink, marine blood, left out again. Yep, that's true.
Man, that's got to be in his friggin' settings, man.
Yeah, it has to be.
Something.
Yeah,
I'm not
for sure. Yeah, and again, shout out to Harrison Brock for helping us out. I know he's always trying to gift other people memberships, so but appreciate that. Let's get to another video. We're behind on videos. Let's see here. Let's share the screen. we've been having some good conversation going on tonight.
You got Jerry Worms in the chat there.
Jerry Worms,
the man.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Let me I'm gonna reload this. This is today's. Shout out to Jerry Worms.
Stop or I'll shoot you in the back.
What's the backstory on that, sir?
That's what he yelled on cops. 1989, Broward County. He got in a foot pursuit and he yelled, "Stop or I'll shoot you in the back."
Did he really? Okay, I don't know that story.
Go to episode 1, cops.
Yep.
No shit. So, damn, I can't. Okay, my dad was on cops. Just so you guys know, not as a bad guy.
No,
just putting that out there. That's as much as I can say.
Jerry is my first guest. If you go and watch the podcast, we cover.
No shit.
His story is unreal. He had a whole life before cops. He didn't become a cop till he was like 30, and he grew up with John Travolta.
Bro, he had to have worked with my dad.
Broward County started in 89 or 90 at 89. And then
okay, never mind.
88 maybe. And then he did the whole career there. Then he went to Coral Springs as a SRO for a few more years. And now he's retired up in Tennessee.
We'll have to get him on the show as
he's
well.
Great. Oh, absolutely.
Jerry would love to have you, buddy. Banning was an FTO on Noah's Ark. now he's going for dad jokes.
Make sure all the animals are there and in line.
Right. All right. Let's watch another video. Oh, this was the one I did today. I'll just let it go.
Dealing with a complaint of people fishing off of a dock.
You got cop, Navy security guard. Don't really know. Nothing's been roasted into the water. The way he's treating this guy, it looks like it's a kid. Okay, so we don't need to listen to me, but so what you saw there is somebody pointed out it might be a train track. Again, it was just a video that was sent in to us and said, "What do you think about this cop on the dock?" And I said, "Well, let me take a look." So
he threw the fishing pole in the water?
Yeah, he broke it in half and then threw it in the fucking water. Like, I'm like, what a fucking asshole. Like, as a guy that's
okay. 20 years ago it was okay to do that. That's not okay now.
As a guy who fishes and knows how expensive them fuckers get, like, and he threw the whole thing in. So it was the pole and the reel. Now you can have a cheap ass pole, but a really good reel, and you got a pretty good rig going on. So the fact that he did that, like, again, it doesn't matter. He could have, and somebody tried to point out in the comments, well, we don't know what happened beforehand.
Yeah, there's no reason. I mean,
how the fuck does that matter?
Yeah, that's tough.
In no world is it okay.
Well, there was a world before the phone camera and body camera.
But that still makes it
perfectly
wrong.
Okay.
It's still wrong.
I know.
It's still like, I don't care. I get it. There was an old school way, and it was accepted by society. You're right. Times have changed, and societally back then they'd be like, well, you knew you weren't supposed to be fishing. Like, that may have been the mindset back then, but today, and me looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? That dude needs to be shit canned. And if that's a cop, he needs to be charged. Like, you just fucking, okay, let's look at the big picture. One, he's fishing. He's not out dealing dope. He's not going through somebody's car. He's not pulling up some endangered fish and kept it. Like, none of that is what happened here.
I don't even think if he was pulling up an endangered fish at that point, the fish is caught. So
you're right. Well, maybe you can survive.
It's acceptable, but of course that's not. I mean, again, that brings in the character, like the girl shooting the mirror. Like, if that guy acts like that over a couple kids fishing, how does he handle a high stress situation?
Right. Alan, you got something?
That's against the law, actually, in Texas. You can't interrupt somebody from fishing and prevent them from sporting.
Then carry a gun too, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Carry a gun in Texas?
Oh yeah, you can carry a gun everywhere here. Yeah. Florida and Texas got a lot in common.
Yeah, you can't interrupt somebody in the act of fishing.
Even the cops?
Well, yeah, you know, but it sounds like he needs to go to jail. Like,
yeah. And then you threw it in the water. Now you polluted. That's what makes me know that wasn't a DNR officer.
Yeah.
That or a Fish and Wildlife. In Michigan, we call them DNR, Department of Natural Resources. But that was not a DNR or a Fish and Wildlife officer, because they wouldn't have thrown it in the water.
That was a dude sick. His Chipotle was getting cold in the car, and he was sick of taking calls, and he wanted to get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I would have witnessed that, that guy probably would have went home with his fishing rod broken, and his wife would be calling.
Yeah. Steve Wallace said, aggravated assault, strong armed robbery, destruction of property, littering. Question mark.
Exactly.
Yeah. All of it. All of it was bullshit. And again, that dude for sure needed some tender loving care. Scott Davis. Oh, we got a Facebook comment. That doesn't happen very often. I swear to follow only my feelings and my laws. I am not going to follow the Constitution of the United States. I will abuse my powers and I will abuse the rights of the people everywhere. Opportunity. In qualified immunity. Heavy jail time, Green Mile, and life sentence for bad cops. Okay.
We gotta get that qualified immunity one up, man.
Yeah, we do. We're trying to do a very well thought out qualified immunity podcast or live stream where we have somebody that's really good and articulate for reasons not to have qualified immunity, and then we have Von Kleem, who's like number 2 of For Science. He's going to do the why we have qualified immunity, why we should, and going to try to moderate and do all that stuff because that seems to be like the top hot button topic for just about on both sides. Yeah. I don't know where your stance is. Mine is it needs to be tweaked, but not gotten rid of. There's some people that want to. What's that?
You can't get rid of it, but
right. I don't think you should get rid of it. I think it's just like the defund the cops movement. If you get rid of it completely, you're going to lose a bunch of cops. You're not going to get the people you want. It's just going to cause this downward spiral effect. That's how I see it. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Next subject. I don't think the comments can handle it right now.
Yeah. We'll press on.
We will definitely 100% cover it, guys. I promise you.
Yeah, Mr. Bill, I'm going to debate Von Kleem. Bro,
did you spell that right? Did you spell that right, Mr. Bill? Anyway.
Oh, shit.
The rookie wants back in.
Oh, well, he left. Fuck him. Shouldn't have been leaving with his busted ass, shit ass mic with his fan in the background.
Let that guy in here with that low setup, man.
I know.
Get him a microphone and a backdrop, man.
Right. He's got a nice
backdrop. I ain't got none of that.
Yeah, you gotta get it, man.
He's got a good camera. He's got
camera looks good.
Quality.
You gotta get the thing here, man.
A whack ass mic.
I'm gonna look good regardless, so camera or not.
Boy. Yeah, oh geez. Look, he got his camera at an up angle from underneath him because he didn't want his bill to shadow his face. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm ugly. I use the camera. I use it to block my face. I'm good.
Right. No, I am drunk, Banning.
hey, Mr. Bill, I'm still waiting for a contact through LinkedIn, brother. Send me something.
He said the Steve Ladner drinking game is making me grab my ankle. Oh shit. All right. Let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, Nevia said it needs to be codified. One state did get rid of it though, and the cops quit breaking the law. That's not true. That's not true. Colorado tried, New York tried, and it's not the whole state. It was a city, and it doesn't matter that they tried to get rid of it because at the end of the day, it's a Supreme Court case ruling. They can get rid of it all they want. It was the city council in New York that tried to get rid of it. Yes, they technically got rid of it in the city of New York, but at the end of the day, when it goes up to the appeals, and if it even makes it past that, once it gets to the Supreme Court, they're going to go, oh, what's the Supreme Court precedence? And they're going to say, oh, they already have qualified immunity. You don't get to get rid of it just because your city says you get rid of it. It doesn't work that way.
So you can't. Well, I know y'all say I don't want to talk about it, but you can't do the job without it, bro. That's like telling football players, all the NFL guys, you hurt somebody, then you're liable for that. Like, bro, it's part of the game.
Yeah. So, let's go to the next video. We already did that one. We'll do this one real quick. I learned later on that this is, and I'm curious what Copville's idea is about the First Amendment auditor stuff. So this is actually a good one. So let's see here. Share. Boom.
Building.
But right. So these documents, who grabbed them from the shelf?
Our staff.
So these are the documents you were grabbing from the shelf, right?
I was taking pictures of the books.
Which
he
is
told our staff
he
that
said
he
he's
was
a
looking for
journalist.
something.
He has to provide us what score he's writing. What is he doing on the ground? We only ask him, just like he asked us for information, we're allowed to ask information.
This is the way it works. Okay. Unfortunately, if it's open to the public and his eyes can see, he can record whatever his eyes can see. Mm-hmm. If it's like something that is like top secret, it has to be behind closed doors, locked and restricted. But if it's open to the public, which this is all open to the public, if your employees don't want to be on film, we're going to have to get up and walk away. We can't tell him he can't record. We just can't do that. If this is open to the public, then he can record. If it's not open to the public, then he's not allowed in here.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? That's just the law. And we can't enforce policy. That right there is a policy. We don't enforce policy.
Here's a fantastic.
All right, and let's stop sharing. So that I found out later. I think that was Long Island Auditor, who's real popular, famous, and I think overall, I think he does a good job, especially trying to expose gaps in police training, and he also educates. He talks about what the exact laws are and stuff like that. So I learned that this was actually an old video. I'd never seen it, so I shared it. But what's your thoughts on the First Amendment auditors?
I have no problem with it. I was actually on a video on YouTube that gained pretty good attention at our tax collector's office, where the first deputy threatened to arrest him and a bunch of crazy stuff. And the sheriff called me directly and said, "Can you go over here and figure this out?" And I got there, and it was very similar. Like, they were recording. They had every right to record, and the actual elected tax collector was wanting them arrested. And I'm like, you can't do that. And I find it just like any other provoking situation. If you just talk to them normal and they don't get the rise out of you, they go away. Like, it's kind of juvenile to me what they're doing, but it's also very educational. If cops just paid attention, it's a good learning experience to watch it and learn from it. They're doing something to get views. They're doing something to get following. They're probably making money. Their YouTube channel makes money. If you just go there and act like a human being and treat them like a human being, it's going to be a very minimal contact. That's not going to be very eventful. So but lack of education by cops, again, is a problem. I mean, that's the problem with it.
It's 2025. This is I think the first one I probably saw was 2010, 2011, in reference to actually seeing something on YouTube. Bottom line, if you are running an organization that has any dealing with the public and you're a government organization, this should be basic training on every employee that's hired. These elected officials all go through a basic training to do their job, from judges to law enforcement to clerks, everything like that's elected. This should be in basic training. If it's not, then you're going to write a friggin' check. I mean, they're being friggin'. And
that's what some of them are after, is the money. Some are after the exposure. Some are after the money.
Yep.
I hate watching it happen. But that to me shows the caliber of the cop or the agency as well.
Yeah, I think it speaks volume to the agency,
especially the trespassing ones where they start getting nasty when they're on the sidewalk. Like, bro, how fucking dumb are you? You don't know that a human being is allowed to be on the sidewalk. Like,
right?
It's a sidewalk. That's what it's there for. Like, how are you going to tell this guy he can't stand there?
And they tell him to come back on property. I need you to come over here and give me your ID.
It's so bad.
I got to trespass you from this. They don't want you on their property anymore.
I get uncomfortable watching it. I really do. It's as bad as watching like an inevitable shooting death. Like, you get real uncomfortable. You're like, this is really going to go bad, because they're committing career suicide when they're doing that. Like, everything from that point forward shows lack of knowledge of the law, lack of knowledge of the policies. One bad encounter like that, your whole career could just be done.
Yeah.
Even if you don't arrest them, just your failure to know the law and how to treat somebody in that situation could. A defense attorney gets a hold of that and shows it every time in a trial. Look, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's usually the peacocking cops that want to be tough guys that go down that line. And maybe it's a good, that's where I think it's a good thing, because it should weed those guys out. Like, if you can't handle a First Amendment order that's standing around with a phone, how are you going to handle a real stressful situation? Because that should be real stressful.
Yeah, Neva brings up a good point. She said Clearwater, Florida is throwing people out of their council meetings by the dozens, violating free speech. And that's an easy one. Actually, I think Mr. Billfold sent me some stuff on people getting kicked out of public town hall meetings and stuff like that, city council meetings. And I started going down that rabbit hole to learn more about what the rules and regulations are and stuff like that. And from what I'm seeing, man, literally, if you are the officer and you are not seeing a violation of law, you can't take them out.
Nope.
And if the council or the mayor or any of these people are trying to tell you remove them, you got to stand on First Amendment.
That'll work for you.
Yeah, nothing I can do for you.
Yeah.
Like, until I see a violation, just because you're telling me to, that doesn't mean the violation's occurred. And because they're hurting your feelings, that doesn't count. because you don't want to hear what they have to say. It doesn't count. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're wilding out and you're being, you know, a major disturbance and stuff like that. Trey, I'm just curious. Have you ever had to be a part of town hall meetings or anything like that?
Nah, we got like a whole separate team for that. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh, no. So they don't even. Okay.
That's actually good, though, that there's somebody to handle that has probably
specializes. Yeah.
Because here they just throw you into it. Here, you're there. You go to the meeting, and
we got a community relations unit. They take care of all of that.
But like he said about the lack of training, think about the position that puts a young cop in when you have an elected official telling you to do something, and then your job, your career starts to go through your head, and then I'm not listening to an order, but it's the law. Like if you're not that's a huge thing. That's something the agency
like if I was fresh off of training and an official, like some counselor or something was like, yeah, get him out of here, I probably would do it without knowing that I wasn't supposed to do that.
And guess what? That counselor is going to get zero heat over that. It's going to be all the bad guy in the uniform.
It's going to be me.
Yep. The tyrant with a gun.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm reading through the comments here. Eye of the Night said, what gets me most is when cops go back in after the fact and talk shit or shit talk the person who wasn't doing anything wrong to the complainant.
Yeah. It's bad business.
Yep.
Anytime there's a phone around, like those days are over. The phones are everywhere. Everybody's recording. It just doesn't make sense for guys to one stupid comment like that. Your career's on the line these days.
Yep. Mr. Billfold said, Eric, in that video I sent you, he addressed the officers who lost their qualified immunity in the case for kicking Dr. Spies out of that meeting and arresting him. Yeah, that's man, guys, when all else fails, fall back on the Constitution.
Yeah, and that's where we talk about a lot in counterculture, but you work for the people.
Yeah.
I don't work. Fuck the sheriff. Fuck the office. Like at the end of the day, and I always got asked by a couple guys in town that were very constitutional guys. Like if they said we're taking the guns, would you do? Absolutely not.
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. And I held an oath to the people, not the job, not on building, not an administration. Yep. I worked for the people.
And you did it twice.
At the end of the day.
Banning did it twice. I did it twice.
Yeah. 26 years total between law enforcement and the military that I worked for the people. And, you get grouped into the tyrant government bootleg, all that bullshit because you're a cop. But there's people like me, you guys, if that's the way you feel, is like, I work for the people.
Yes.
I'm not here to round up guns. I'm not here to do it. I work for the Constitution. The Constitution, at the end of the day, the right to bear arms at the end of the day. That's why we have that right, so that the government doesn't overrun the people. And if I had to get on the other side and stand with the people, you can have this fucking badge and you can take it. Like, I don't want it.
Yep. End of the day, I'll be okay.
You're there, period, for the people.
That's it. You work for the people.
Policy versus law.
Yep.
Huge difference.
Yeah, the policy is all day long. Think of it. The statute book's this thick, and the policy book's this thick of all the rules. The Constitution is pretty straightforward. Like we've skewed that document to case law, to court rulings, to amendment. Like it's been flipped everywhere. You can stand on one side of the street, one thing's illegal. On the other side of the street, it's not illegal. Like all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I worked for the people, and that's who I served. And everybody else can kiss my ass.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Where was Mr. Just so you know, this is actually a big deal on our show that Mr. Billfold doesn't like cops pretty much in general. So the fact that
I always said I was the closest you could get to not being a cop for 23 years. I was there.
And
I was actually investigated by the
I keep preaching that is one of the reasons why I feel like police work was for me, because I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I was all of my friends, trust me. I can't say a whole lot, but it was on the other side of the house. So, and I'm not going to call any names out, but
I'm not a fan of the ATF either. Somebody's talking about the ATF.
Yeah, fuck the ATF.
I'm not a fan of the ATF. Like,
trying to
limit my guns. Agency to fucking Second Amendment says we can carry guns. Why do you need an old agency to for one little alert that says it shall not be infringed?
I don't see anything on the Second Amendment that says what type of gun I can have either.
Shall not be infringed.
A constitutional country girl's gonna go nuts. She's gonna be, that's what I'm talking about. May I capitalize? Love it. Never said cops are human too. It's just that some of them don't know how to use critical thinking.
Hello.
And
Hello.
let's face it. So some cops will sheep right into doing what they're told, and we've seen it.
No, I don't believe in that shit.
We've seen it. So when push comes to shove, choose your states wisely.
You have to, and I call it a cult. I think law enforcement is a cult, honestly. And when I say that,
and you just won all of our crowd. You just won them.
Yeah, they rope everybody into thinking. Yusuf Hofstra, he's a good dude. He was a Brevard County deputy that actually shot and killed somebody in a road rage incident. And he said that his biggest thing is like, get out of law enforcement and do something else. And don't ever, I'm not saying there doesn't need to be cops, but don't be part of the cult that makes you think you can't do anything else. You're intelligent human. You have a brain. You have a plethora of other trades. If it's not for you, don't do it. If you don't want to conform to those policies and you're strongly about those things, don't do it. Don't do 22 years of misery, 23 years of misery, 20 hating your family, kicking the dog, all that stuff that they accuse us of. Don't do it. Fucking go get another job. Like, it's not for everybody, but if you're going to do it, you do it right. You serve the people, and that's the way I look at it. That's what ended my career. That's what ended my career was I finally said, I'm not dealing with this fucking administration anymore. I'm going to say whatever I want. Obviously not crazy shit, but I'm going to say, I'm going to call out who needs to be called out. I'm not going to sit back and take this anymore. You're not going to continue to do this to me. And I openly supported the other candidate for sheriff, unfortunately lost. And that began to wrap up my career. But you know what? I'm 49 in 2 weeks and I don't have to fucking work. So they really got me.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just messaging Trey that I muted his mic because his fan was driving me nuts. But all right, let's get to another. We're gonna get to the whole point of this fucking show because we're an hour and 30 in already. Damn. Copville's like, damn, I didn't know it's gonna be this long.
No, I'm good.
So
it's 2 hours every time I go.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, you're used to it. Okay, so the whole point of when we do the body cam review live is we will watch body cam videos that we have never watched before. We get all of these from Police Activity's YouTube channel, so shout out to those guys. Make sure you follow them. Every video you're going to see tonight from here on out is from Police Activity, so be sure to give them a like, follow, subscribe, all that good things. And I have not watched any of these videos. Copville, if you have seen one of these, just say I've seen it, and just kind of
slim chance I sat around and watched any YouTube videos.
Yeah. So what we do is rather than Monday morning quarterbacking the video, we'll keep pausing. All right, here's how the video's developed so far. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I would do. So it's kind of giving the mindset of how cops all around the nation kind of think. We got Trey from California, me from Texas and Michigan, Banning North Texas, Oklahoma, and Arizona, I think. And then he's worked all around the place. So Banning, you was in Arizona, right?
No, I all my law.
You live there though, right?
I lived in 23 different states. Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ. Damn. Fucking traveling man. I like
I have 23 addresses.
Where do you think the whole 23andMe came from? Banning be spreading his seed all over.
No, definitely not doing that.
He's like, don't get me in trouble.
Mom's taught me better.
Okay, let's share the screen here. Boom, share. We don't know the backstories or anything like that. We're going to Biggie size. Bow. There we go. And play. All right. Don't forget, tends to be muted. Okay. Looks like it's out of Bismarck. I don't see any lights or siren. Well, I don't hear any sirens. What are we dealing with? Looks like he's going to deal with this car. Maybe because they're double parked. You're blocking this car in. Move. I'm guessing. Okay, I'm going to pause it and just kind of, I'll work you into how we deal with these, Copville. So for me, if I was this officer, before I ever approached this car, I would have ran the plate. I would have taken that plate that I could see there on the white SUV and just entered into the system as I called out, hey, I'm going to be out with a white vehicle at this parking lot. I don't know why we're here. So It is what it is. But that's the bare minimum I would have done. Banning, is there anything else that you would add to that?
No, sir. Sorry, I'm pouring another water.
But water my ass. So, all right. This is some sort of security TV. This is not the police-owned video. There is no volume at the moment, so everybody knows.
Turn off the car. Turn off the car. No.
Okay. So now I don't know. It just moved ahead and didn't tell us what's going on. So, yeah, Freeman Keys is calling you bullshit, Banning. They're taking off. Okay, Copville, what are you doing from here?
So far, I'm happy nobody's jumped in the car or in front of it, but we still have some time. We still have some time to go. So I don't know. The call type kind of skews my mind right now about how I would have handled the start of it. But I saw one of the comments said that's a long walk from cover. I definitely agree. That's a really interesting way to park your car that far away.
Yeah.
So right now, obviously, your job is to not get run over. And
Right.
Please don't shoot him through the windshield. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So that is for those out there listening, me and Banning have kind of hit on this a lot in the last year, where we talk about creating your own exigency.
Terrible. Now,
This is going to be, if it hasn't already happened, I haven't checked up lately, but it's going to be a Supreme Court ruling. There's Banning's water. You cannot create your own exigency. Most departments that I know of, major departments, they don't want you to do that. So what is creating your own exigency? This car is about to take off and you put yourself in a position that it may run you over because you're trying to draw the line in the sand. That is putting yourself in your own and in an exigency circumstance.
Here's also, I've not seen this video, but this is obviously a little bit more north than Texas with all the snow on the ground. That's a 2014 Chevrolet Traverse front wheel drive. Get on top of that snow mound. It's not going up more than 3 feet up that deal.
Yeah. Next. Assuming it doesn't get a whole bunch of steam on the parking lot. Yeah. So, damn,
I would love to know the call type. That's the thing. Because
yeah, why are we making contact? Because it's a private lot.
If you pulled in from behind and got real close to the bumper there, you have cover and you limited its movement. Some of the rear movement, they go forward, but at least you have your vehicle to retreat behind.
Yep, agreed. All right, let's keep going.
There it is.
Get out of the car!
Is that
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Now!
All right. I don't know what our goal is here. For me, I'd have been retreating back to my vehicle. I would have been in my car. Like,
did I hear a gunshot?
No, I didn't hear a gunshot.
Sure? Okay.
I'll go back. We'll be sure. There's the door shutting.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Now!
All right, now you back yourself up.
Get out of the car!
Woo! Okay. I'm actually okay with this shooting because they didn't shoot.
No, that was an intentional act.
Yeah,
he changed trajectory so fast. That
was attempted murder.
Yeah. He trajected himself toward. I don't know what the word is. Fuck it. It's tonight. I am drinking Suavecito Anejo.
Yeah, it's just Brandon there saying it was a long walk to cover. That was a bad idea.
Yep. 2 cops, 1 donut needs to stop trying to be Martin Riggs. I'm getting too old for this shit. That's Riggs, right? No, Riggs is Riggs is the other one. It's Mel Gibson.
Shots fired! You're hit! Show your hands!
Give me Metro, she struck me. Shots fired.
Oh, he's fucked up. You can hear it in his
Show
voice.
Your hands! Show your hands!
Banning, you were wrong. He got up the hill.
Yeah.
I was wrong, man. So I take that back. So again, I have not seen
but
this.
But he did build up steam. He started. You can see my mouse. He started back here, so he had some good momentum.
Back up.
He flew.
No, back up.
Show me your hands.
Back up.
okay, this is me. I tend to get a little. I will be your hero for my partners. If my partner is laying there, I'm probably going to madman that car. I'm going to get up on it quick. It's probably a bad I'm not a tactical guy. I'm not.
The only problem. This is a bad. Well, I don't think the car can go anywhere. You have unknown weapons.
Right.
Still, you've already shot something. I don't know if you hit anything.
Yeah.
This is an ugly one because you definitely got to get your buddy out of there. But
yeah,
that's a real bad situation. That's a bad. Somebody said it gets bad quick, and it definitely has gotten bad quick.
Yeah, like
you're no man. I mean, I don't think the car can go anywhere, but you don't know where the guy is. Is he under the wheel? Is he under the hood? Is he? But where is he?
Yeah, I think I see his head. If you can
maybe to the left there,
see my mouse. Yeah, I think that's him. Okay. But damn, I'm. My concern would be he backs up and goes forward again, and my guy can't fucking move. So I want to at least get him behind this felony cruiser over here and make sure.
Yeah. I drove one of those for about 3 years undercover.
I knew it. What are the top ones? You got
We seized it, and then I drove it.
You got your 6-cylinder Charger. You've got the PT Cruiser, and then you've got your Chrysler 300. Those are those are the top dogs. Great UC cars. Mag dump, Jesus. Okay, let's keep going. I can't wait to see the body cam.
Headquarters.
There we go.
Oh shit, that is a Charger on the right. Alan's right.
Go ahead. 1140 South 12th Street, Nightway Shelter. There's a white Chevy Equinox at the church beside the Nightway. 911 texter said the occupant is 55 and getting escalated. Again, 1140 South 12th.
I didn't understand any of that.
It's like a different language.
Did anybody get that?
No, some type of 10 code garble.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
10-4.
Hi, what's your name, ma'am?
Why are you calling? Why?
We got called to come check on you. They were concerned.
There's nobody concerned.
There was. We got a phone call. What's going on today?
Who did you get a call from?
Okay.
I'm detecting either under the influence of a narcotic or drugs, slow speech.
DUI.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It was an anonymous caller saying there was a white.
I know,
Traverse
that's what they keep doing that. You know, they did that in Nebraska with my children. They keep calling in false reports.
Okay.
Blurred speech.
I don't think that it's okay for people.
I can't help it that people call, and it's my job to come respond when we have a call in, to come check on people. Okay? Now, my concern is coming out of...
Your concern is you know everybody that
my concern is that the car smells heavily of marijuana.
Okay, I'm going to put it out there. This cop's being chill as fuck. Like, this, I mean, as far as personable skills go, he's legit. Is everybody getting the same type of vibe from this guy?
It's 100%. And I'm sorry, but that's going to be a lot of chi, man, to make somebody.
Yeah, like he's being a good. This is how I would hope a cop talks to people. This is good shit.
When's the last time you smoked any marijuana in here?
Other people have smoked marijuana in here, and I don't want to get into that because then they're calling you on me.
Other people have. You don't smoke any marijuana.
I have medical marijuana. I had my card.
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
I had one.
Do you have one? Current? No. Okay.
It's got to be traced.
Step outside of the vehicle here.
No, you're not.
Turn off the car. Turn off the car.
No.
299. She's fleeing.
Jesus. That happens so much faster in this view than the faraway view. I want to go back, and I'm going to play it through.
I'm damn near surprised they didn't shoot right there the first time when they tried to.
I don't think they fucking had time.
Correct. No. Okay. Have you step outside of the vehicle here?
No, you're not.
Turn off the car. Turn off the car.
No.
299. She's fleeing.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Now!
Look how far their cars are.
299, she almost struck me.
Get out of the car!
This is my problem right here. They spit out and rip and up.
God damn!
Oh, he's on the other side of the hill.
It pushed him through the fucking fence.
Metro, she struck me. Shots fired. Show your hand!
And so as soon as I heard that, I put two and two together, like, just peeping, like, hearing the, you know how you turn it in the gravel scratches? Yeah, I heard that. And then that's when I kind of sped walked to the truck in case she was to ram it. It'd be the truck, not me. So I sped walked to it. And then she rolled her window down. She was like, no, just start screaming. I was like, hey, calm down, like calm down. So she started getting into people owe her money, and her dad owns an oil refinery and all types of crazy stuff while she has it in drive. So I'm trying to be low key, because like this is all happening within minutes of each other. I'm talking to her, I'm just trying to keep her talking, you see what I'm saying, to y'all deep here. So I didn't even know if I should step away and call her, but if I stepped away, I would either be in the front or the back of the vehicle. I didn't know what to do. My son's right there in the car. I didn't want her to back up and then ram to the back of the car. For sure. So I just texted you. So I want that to know.
Turn off the car. Turn off the car. Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Now! Get out of the car! Shots fired! Officer hit!
You know, I think the fence actually saved his ass.
Fence slowed it down, definitely from the back of his head getting
Yeah,
smacked off that
I
concrete.
agree. I think that fence saved his ass. Damn. I'm curious how.
Show your hands! Shots fired! Show your hands! Show your hands! Back up! No, back up! Show me your hands!
He's still looking out for the citizens.
Yeah,
that's gangster. They just, I don't know if you guys heard in the audience, but he just said, hey, I want to come help you. And he said, no, stay back. So, I mean, his mind is still there. He's still trying to protect. Like, that's pretty good shit.
Fuck, I can't move. We got help coming, James. Stay there.
Damn. Holy shit. All right, y'all. What do y'all think about that one? That was Freeman Keys. She earned every gram of lead she received. Yeah, that was insane. And these officers were being so chill about it, which I like. I like that. Like, that's like how they just handled that is probably about how I am on every call. I'm super relaxed. But they put themselves in a rock and a hard place, which I think was preventable. So if we're going to learn from this as cops,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, let's, I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking these guys. Like I think they did a good job.
The only thing is I think they got hung up when they drew their guns and she backed up. They stayed folk out in the open. That should have been an immediate move to cover behind those cars. That's the only. Yeah, I mean, I know it's tough. It's tunnel vision kicks in, but get to cover.
I don't even think it was tunnel vision. I think they legitimately thought she's just going to drive off.
That's why you get to cover.
I think. I mean, even
that's usually what happens.
Yeah, normally that is what happens. I think they.
I think she was so inebriated that she didn't know what the fuck she was doing.
Yeah,
I don't really think she was trying to take him out. I think she was just trying to get out of there. And she was fucked up.
Andy's asking, wasn't there a passenger? Yeah, that was the guy in the red that they were talking to at the big fro. And then he walked away from it because he was like, she's fucking.
I will point out, to be a little critical at the beginning, they interviewed that dude right behind her car the entire time.
Yeah.
Where she could have thrown it in and drove off at that point. So
yep. And it would have taken out the innocent bystander.
Yeah. So
yeah. Again, anytime a call goes bad, I don't want you guys to look at it like we're Monday morning quarterbacking cops. I want to improve. There's always something to learn. To me, it's a debrief.
Yeah, I think my statement would be, if that ever happens to you, immediately get to cover. Don't worry about it. Don't stand in the open. Somebody starts to back away. I wouldn't even try to rip them out at this point. There's no reason to do it. Let them go. Get the cover.
Yeah. Tim said, I just watched a TikTok lawyer and he said if you're inebriated, it can be used as a defense for intent. Get the fuck out of here. Good luck with that. Not in Texas. Matter of fact, I think it actually enhances your sentence. Do you still take calls? Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a sergeant. My job's to supervise, so I shouldn't be taking calls. But sometimes I know my guys are all at lunch, and it's a easy call that I can go handle. So I will take calls, but for the most part, no. I'm out there. I observe calls. I supervise like my job is for. But if I get wrapped up in a call that ends up having somebody's got to go to jail or something like that, now I've taken myself away from doing what I promoted past that. And that's the hard part as a sergeant, is not acting like an officer anymore. So you got to know your role, and your guys will hate you if you sit there and handle a bunch of calls, I promise. So a little cop code. Was it that way with you in Florida?
Yeah, when I got promoted to sergeant on patrol, I was a warrants guy. I couldn't stop doing it. So I kind of had that rock in a hard place. My lieutenant was also the same go-getter, now a lieutenant.
Yep, I'm in the same boat.
Like the first 2 searches, and I took somebody to jail, which is pretty quick here. It's not a long drive. And he finally said, "Hey, dude, you can't be tied up in the jail." He's like, "If you get in a pursuit, you get in a car, something like that." He's like, "If you get the warrant, you're gonna have to turn it over to a zone car." Then I feel like a dick. I'm like, "Man, I'm not gonna go find him." Like, so I would call the zone car. He'd be like, "Hey, I think this guy's over here with a warrant. Do you want to go get him?"
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just go on my own or go, I'm going to go grab a guy, and then this guy who's trying to do whatever he wants to do and doesn't, trying to do traffic or, watch a house or something. So I felt I didn't want to be that sergeant, because that used to happen all the time when I was a patrol guy. They would just call me, "Here, take this." So I tried to stay away from doing that, but I continued to make a lot of arrests when I was a sergeant. And then I got street crimes, which didn't fucking matter. I could do whatever I wanted.
So Houston Gas, this is, again, you guys know I've got Banning Sweatland, which is one of the most epic, deputy names ever. Houston Gas is also another deputy. He got shot in the fucking face with a shotgun while on duty.
Back in just real quick, 30,000-foot view, not to take away from what Eric's about to say. Back in 2015, Houston was up in the Panhandle in Texas. Went to a domestic Houston comment, if I'm wrong on this, but I believe it was the second or third time patrol units had to go back out to that house and basically got people to safety, was trying to get the dude out, possibly armed, and wasn't sure if there's other people in the room, because we know if we're dealing with that kind of stuff, you can kind of like, this guy's by himself now, he's in his own domicile, we're gone. But not knowing, Houston did the right thing and trying to communicate with the gentleman through the bedroom door, put his left face up against the door, 12-gauge shotgun, point blank on the other side, shot Houston right in the face, disintegrated all his teeth. You can go Google Houston Gas just on Google and look at images. You can see the reconstructive surgery, and I don't even know how many surgeries he went through, but he put the uniform back on until a few days ago. He just retired. But let me tell you something about Houston Gas. He's a good friend of mine. Once he was able to talk and walk after that, he went to the friggin' jail and forgave the dude that friggin' shot him. That speaks volumes on somebody, man. And no, Houston is a dear friend of mine. He literally is in the process of finishing out his retirement right now. He's done on patrol, and I'm welcoming him to the private sector.
Enjoy your retirement, man. You fucking surely earned it.
So I want to get him on our podcast, but I will throw him your way once you can have my sloppy seconds. Sound good?
You always come on top of it first.
There we go. So, all right, let's go to the next video. Police activity. We need to share the screen. Share and biggie size. Boop boop. There we go. All right, let's roll. Oh, we need to unmute first. There we go.
Hi, there's an armed robbery going down at Maplewood condominiums right now.
What's the full address there?
North Backer Avenue. What unit?
And there's like 4 or 5 of them. They all got guns.
My neighbor just came to my house knocking.
They broke into my window and they said Fresno Police Department. And
okay.
I saw. I looked out the people for a second. It wasn't the cops, and I ran out the back door.
And you guys are in unit.
Yeah. No, I'm in unit. House robberies.
I see him just keep going back and forth grabbing.
They got guns and stuff, and they're just looting his house.
Has he got that shotgun in a bag?
The towel, maybe.
Yeah. Nobody will notice us. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a fucking UC. Or is that no, that's a bad guy's car. Yeah, that's what it says. That's a bad guy's car.
Oh, I think.
All right. I'm going to give him a little credit. It's pretty smart. Most bad guys don't do this. That was pretty smart. So, all right. I will say that if we got this call and I hear those details, it is an armed response. Everybody's guns should be out, and we need to get together collectively and come up with some rudimentary game plan on the way there. So let's keep going. This is where a real-time crime center really comes into handy. Yeah, drones. If you got drones, launch them. Look at that. That's a good SUV right there. That's prime for... Oh, they took a gun safe.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to bog that thing way down. That is not made for that type of weight.
Nope. It's a 2005 Honda CRV.
Oh, Lord. Look at
Benny, how do you be knowing all these cars, bro?
Running on the rims.
Man,
hey, once you've done a little police work, rookie, you start to learn these cars. If you just go out there and actually do some shit instead of sitting back and just taking calls.
Man, nah, I don't be parking lot pimping, man. I'll be trying to get after it.
Look at this car just dragging ass. It's riding on the tires. That's how heavy that thing is.
Like
why didn't he go out the way he came in? Why make it harder on yourself?
I bet you that grass was left and pulled him to the left.
What's that?
So I bet you that grass was left and wet and it pulled him to the left. That's a left.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Probably just made it easier on himself.
14 apart, where it's in the middle of the complex. It's in the middle of the complex.
Okay, so they're watching this live. Or they're getting updates live because they just said it's in the middle of the complex. So there's a slight delay in that stuff. And I believe we just saw the tail end of that car go by. Quit showing off, Banning. So I'm going to go back. I want you guys to look way ahead in the parking lot as he makes this turn. You can see it, what I think is that SUV driving.
14 apart, where it's in the middle of the complex. It's
right
in the middle
there.
Of the complex.
Copy.
It is here.
Now, you know they're armed. These cops are aware that they're armed. Is that it? Oh, no, that's it. I was wrong. That's not the car. Now you know I haven't watched this.
Forward towards the King 14. Give me it.
Oh, he sees it.
Give me, stay right there. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. I got the car on the south side. Get on the ground. Don't fucking move. They're trying to drive away. Don't move. Don't move. King 14, they're going back towards you.
That's a hard position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
You know they're armed. You don't see a gun.
Yeah, you're not. He's pretty far forward for my liking right now.
Yep. And look where we're at. You're responsible for every round that comes out, and we're in a very tight, packed apartment area.
And just imagine what the groundskeeper is going to think when he comes.
What the fuck? I just had this place
I know I
perfect.
got out quick, but this is a rifle call.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
right out of the locker before you get there, laying on the seat next to you, ready to pull out. That's
Yep.
my
Yep, absolutely. Gas meter. Yeah, there is a gas meter right there.
Hit me with that Glock from there with an iron sight. I promised.
Yeah. So, all right, Rookie, what do you got? You got anything?
Shit, I mean, I think they're doing all right now. He's starting to creep up, which could be a problem, but so far I think it's cool. Seems like they got a perimeter set because I got another unit over there, and yeah, nothing really.
Yeah, this is about to get fucking hairy real quick.
Yeah, I could tell he's already amped up. I mean, it's hard not to be in this situation.
Yeah. I don't get amped up very much, but if I go in knowing they've got on view and they're armed, it's going to be hard not to be breathing heavy. For sure.
Stop right there!
Yeah, this is bad.
We're 11. Shots fired! Shots fired! Stop right there!
In this instance, because we have live view of them being armed, I'm not opposed to that. They were retreating, going backwards. He followed and was starting to use the building as cover, and then they suddenly brought it forward and caught him off guard in a different position.
I'm okay with it. It's right. I don't like him going that far forward, but if it appeared they were maybe backing out, going to lose sight of him.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's out there trying to keep eyes on. He's trying to keep communication.
Highly populated apartment complex. So
yeah,
a little bit. There's a lot more factors to this one than just your old parking lot jumping in front of the car.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. You got anything on that, Banning? Okay.
Nope.
Trey?
Nah, I pretty much stand on the same direction as that. And then, I mean, he jumped out of it was nowhere else he could go in that little small corridor. So.
Yep. Yeah. And like, you can't risk them driving by that close, knowing they're armed. And then, because he's a sitting duck if they start shooting out of that car.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, let's keep going. Looks like they trapped themselves in a parking lot. Now it looks like he's just trying to have fun.
There you go. I was waiting for that.
Yep.
It's not dispatch.
Whoa. Not okay with that. Not okay with that. Let's keep going.
Dog's going after him.
Shots fired!
Got run over by the wrong guy.
There's a guy in the car still! There's another guy in the car still. Another guy in the car.
Shit, we just left him? Oh, he fired out his window or got fired at. He's stuck. His door won't open. He disabled his own car.
Let me get that. I got you.
Oh, that guy's DRT. Oh, it wasn't a shotgun.
No, that's the real deal there.
Shorty, too.
Hey, I'm going to put this in my car.
That is not the business of people that don't mean it. So they went out there to handle bad shit if it happened. I am okay with the original officer that fired. I am okay with everything they did to handle that. I am not okay with him firing rounds into a person running. His hands looked empty. I couldn't tell.
I'm just curious how the holes got in the wind. Did they come in or out?
Right.
He T-boned him, and then did he raise a gun? Like, there's a lot missing there.
I think his vehicle got disabled. He couldn't get the door open, and he's like, I'm fucked. So he started firing. So that's my guess.
Those rounds running away were a little rough.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And on that, like, yeah, Wade Lucero said maybe a 300 blackout. Yeah, it could have been. Looked like mine's a short barrel 300 blackout. So, but yeah, and then okay, so training wise, guys, clear the vehicle. You got to have one goes after the driver. That's fine. But somebody's got to clear the vehicle.
That's a tough one. Everybody does that. And that we actually do train that heavy at our agency to make sure.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because my sergeant, he's always big on he's like, bro, somebody has to do the boring job. Everybody can't run to the fun. So like staying at the cars could be the boring job.
It's big on perimeters and stuff too. Like everybody or hot calls. Everybody wants to go right to the hot call. And I have been luckier by staying away and taking a further opening the umbrella. And then sometimes you get lucky, they come your way. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes you're the windshield. So everybody going to one place, or everybody, can't all run after the guy. That +1 is always a factor.
Yeah. Nina said, shouldn't they have gloves on when handling a perp's firearm?
But you don't know the status of the passenger. You got to get that out of there. I mean, unless it's obviously dead. Because I originally thought that right away. Like, why get the gun if he's obviously dead? But in that case, there's so much going on that doesn't change much of the investigation.
Yeah, you get so spun up, man. I'm telling you, my adrenaline would have been pumping on that one. And I don't get adrenaline that easy. Anybody that's been in it a while, I think we're all in the same boat. Anybody that trains in grappling or martial arts for a long period of time, they also have a harder time getting their adrenaline up. So it's another reason I'm big into that. Harrison Brock.
Good scenarios to train, or talk about. There's a lot happened in that video to really digest and to train. And that's kind of one of my pet peeves with smaller agencies is, the lack of pursuit policies, the lack of critical incidents leads them to what happens when that happens in a small town. And they've never even talked about it.
Yeah.
So these breakdowns should be done at the smaller agencies too, and cover this and be ready for this, because that happens in Podump. I mean, that seems like a pretty busy area where those guys look pretty squared away. That dude that first guy handled himself pretty well. Other than going a little bit past my comfort zone of cover, he did a pretty good job.
That was in Fresno.
Was it? Yeah, so big place. Yeah, they should be well trained. But you have a small town and that breaks loose. God knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, what sucks, and again, thank you, Harrison, for that, and Marine Blood's drink, sir, because you didn't get another account. But what we should point out in this too is that if you do come from a smaller agency where we see a lot of the problem videos, when we see cops fuck up, you got to remember, everybody's like, well, how much training do they have? I don't care if they had 5,500 hours of training. They had a 2-year academy. If they sit in a city where the worst thing that happens is Mrs. Johnson's garbage can flipped over into their neighbor's yard and they want it taken care of, that skill set goes away.
And here's the correlation I make. Where are most of your TikTok cops from? Small agencies.
All podunk
small agencies. So it correlates to lack of training, and then they're so lack of training that they're dancing around their car and like that Hulk Rilla moron doing freaking.
Oh Jesus! With the pink handcuffs.
I can't stand it, and it's unfortunate. And Vera Beach
reenactments, dude.
Yeah, oh, dude,
fucking reenactments.
Everybody. People be sending me shit like, bro, are you like him? I'm like, bro, hell no, dog, I don't do nothing.
And here's what people don't realize. I'm very hard on him. And we've gone at it, and he blocks me. He hasn't had me blocked on my podcast account yet, but all he'll respond with is some God bless message or something. But people take offense to that. I have had guys that are in officer-involved shootings that message me after one of his stupid skit videos and go, hey, man, my buddy got shot like 3 days ago, and I'm going through it. And this moron is making a mockery of that situation. Not that specific one, but he's making reenactments for clout about officer-involved shootings. Or domestic violence is another weird fantasy of his. He's always doing a domestic violence skit. And it's like, these guys have messaged me, and that's where I kind of look like I can say whatever I want, so they can't. And that's why I get nasty with them. It doesn't resonate well to guys that have been involved in critical incidents or domestic violence victims, or guys in like Chicago and New York. I mean, you guys and like dealing with fucking madness all day. And then this guy's got 8 cameras set up with 7 characters in a fucking skit that lasts 3 minutes of like a whole soap opera in one video. And it's like, this is what he's doing on duty. And I found out they actually enjoy it there. Like the agency supports it.
Yeah, they let him.
The local academy, police academy, like supports it.
It's unreal.
Yeah. It's
so stupid.
Irmo, South Carolina Police Department.
Oh, is that where is it again?
It's right outside of South. It's one of the big cities. I forget the city in South Carolina. It's outside one of the big cities. It's Irmo, RIMO Police Department in South Carolina.
God. I see, and he gets other people on the department involved in that bullshit. And I sit there and I'm just like, what?
Buddies is over there by you guys too. That Texas cop guy.
Texas Cop
2.0 is another one. He's a black dude. Wears a cowboy hat. He's somewhere in Texas.
I'll have to look that one up.
You look him up. There's like a gaggle of them that get together and make their little like 4-man videos, and it's bad. Yeah, Texas Cop 2.0.
2.0. Yeah. I'm not a fan of any of that bullshit. I like the education side. There you go.
Yeah, people be thinking that shit is like community engagement. I'm good bridging the gap. I'm like, that's
here's my confession. I actually made TikToks from December of 2020 to December of 2020 till about March, April, and I was actually ended up in the Daily Mail, like all over the nation and the world. I was going through it, and people throw that in my face, and I say it's the opposite. I'm accountable for the fact that I know that I was doing the wrong thing. I stopped doing it, and they say, "Why are you so hard on them when you did it?" Because I know what they're thinking, and they think they're like you were just saying. They think it's community engagement. No, and like Izzo says it best, it's a dopamine dump. It's like a drug. It's a dopamine dump of fame and a little bit of fame and a little bit of clout and a little bit of engagement, and it sends their dopamine levels sky high. And they become addicted to it, and then they stop doing their job. And I see females interviewing Haley that talk about this law enforcement. It's like a segue to like a makeup career, and they're just here for a little while, like, and they're making TikToks like to push the makeup business while they're on duty. And it's like, what are you doing? And how does an agency tolerate that? I got hammered at my agency. I didn't really get in trouble. I didn't make any real policies, but they were hard on me, and it really smacked me in the face. Like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, I was an absolute moron. And I'm not proud of it. I do. Somebody fucking came at me with one the other day where I'm wearing a fucking wig, and I'm like, "That's a good one. That's a real." I was bad, man, but I wear it. I own it. I confess. I was a moron, and I had a bad run there. And who better to tell you that you're fucked up than somebody who did it and doesn't do it anymore?
Oh shit! You don't know who Izzo is, Tim? Let me share.
He be
go to my page and then just play that one of my.
Yeah. Let me do that. Good call.
Oh, you got to go to my podcast page.
I will. Let me see.
He be on shit. I ain't gonna lie. He be fine. I think he was on me before, but
I think he was too.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did he get on you?
I think so. One of my. I mean, I don't give a fuck, but yeah, I think he did on something I posted.
Okay, I am on Copville. Is it under a reel?
It's under my locked up page, the other page.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah, you'll see the last couple of reels are counterculture. You'll see the background. The last couple.
Yeah.
Right there.
Which one you want?
The first one's pretty good.
This one?
Yeah, that's a quick one.
At policy creation where you can't ostracize, you can't bully, you can't. If we bullied more, if we browbeat, hey, you fat piece of shit, go fucking work out. If we took the job seriously, because you know exactly how training is. Hey, you got a recertification today on your fucking OC spray. Okay, fill out the paperwork, do whatever. You fuck around for 4 hours. At policy creation where you can't ostracize, you can't bully, you can't.
That's it.
And the other one's a little longer, but you know what he's getting at there is when I came in, you got bullied, and some of it went a little too far, but I think it was better than where now you can't say anything. And
yeah,
we had our zones, and if you left your zone, some senior guy would walk up to you and say, "Hey, dude, you leave your fucking zone again, you're fucked. Like, don't do that. Handle your call. You don't handle a call." Guy would walk up to you and say, "Hey, motherfucker, handle your calls. Stop doing this stuff." I started my first midnight shift in Vero Beach Police Department. I worked with all old birds. They were all old. I'm 23, fresh out of the Army, fresh out of the academy, and the first thing they told me was, "If you talk on the radio after 2 a.m., we'll fucking kill you." They all went to a donut shop, like the typical stereotype. It was called Tasty O Donuts. 2 a.m. Every cop in the town was in the donut shop, eating donuts and drinking coffee, and I was told not to talk on the radio.
Damn,
that's not right. But he's getting at bullying and to say call people out for what it is.
Yep. So, yeah, I
caught a lot of flack for being friends with him, and it's one of those things, man. I don't agree with everything, but he's right. He's right about a lot of things. He just comes off. Comes off aggressive, and he says what's on his mind. But you need people like that.
Yeah. I'm friends with him. I'll tell people straight up, he's my
I
friend.
talk flack within the counterculture group and just people in general. Hey man, I'm defending you from. I'm like, you can fucking defend me. I'll be friends with who I want.
Yeah.
And I look at him like, I'd rather have a guy not scared to say it than just people sit around just go with the flow. Like he brings an alternate opinion, and it's not always right, but he makes a case for himself, and I like it. I like how he, like I said, he's a good fit to this narrative of all the people that kind of have a voice in law enforcement right now. He's a good fit by saying the things that some people won't, even if it's not right all the way. He says it, and then people can discuss it. And his passion. Honestly, his passion at the core, because I talked to him personally, is to make cops better. He's done. He did his mistakes. He got fired, all that stuff. He did dumb shit, and he admits it. He holds it, puts it right out front, but then says, if I can make one cop better, it's a win.
Yeah. And that's, I try to tell people, I'm like, the personality that you see online, when I talk to him offline, it's not exactly the same guy. But the motivation's always the same.
He's a great fucking dude, man.
He's a good dude.
He's a very intelligent man. He's very good at marketing. He's very good with tech. He's very smart.
I invited him.
A lot of people off.
I invited him tonight when I knew you were going to be on, and I was like, "Hey, if he
does his."
I said, "If you got time, jump on." Well, he was busy. He was
Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. He was he was gone.
He does Cop Talk Live tomorrow. Is his live show on.
Yeah. So I was like, hey dude, I got Copville coming on if you're interested. And he's like, oh yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's like just what he told me, he goes, with him, he goes, if you have a stance, don't flip flop on him. Stick your ground. Like I said, why what? I said, I hate the term flip flopper. I will let you win me over. If you give me a good argument, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think of it that way. That's a good call. I'm that type of guy. So, but I'll tell you, like, okay, I didn't think of it that way. Good call. Mr. Billfold, as we're talking about him.
And a lot of women don't like Dominic. And that's
they definitely don't. But and that's one of the things I disagree with him on. Like I said, I've had very good experiences with female officers. So sit there and say that I don't think females should be cops. That's not me. I think they should. The good ones. Same with guy cops. There's some guy cops. I'm like, you shouldn't be a cop, dude.
Have you ever, anybody who doesn't, and it's hard to listen to, but even as a female, I get it. But his explanation almost goes back to what we just talked about at the beginning with the military, about why.
Right.
He gets into men by nature will defend women differently than they'll defend men. And sometimes the use of forces go a little further. I had a lieutenant that I worked with that he just was obsessed with every female. And it was just like obvious. And it was like, But I don't blame the females either. You don't deserve to be treated like that. And men should control themselves. And again, my wife was the one that turned me on to Izzo, and she's a huge fan of his, and she's a female cop. So
yeah, yep. No, you guys should definitely be checking out Izzo for sure. And he's called he has literally made a video calling me out because he didn't agree with what I said. But Izzo's a class act. He said, "Listen, this is just one stance of Erik's that I don't agree with. I like all these other things." And so
we went at it about. I disagree with him about female cops as well, and we went back and forth. We had our conversation about it. I will tell you, as these videos keep coming out, he's moving
he's winning you over.
Not all the way, but he's making it. He's making some very good points. If you get past the fact that he uses the C word and he says things like that, and he does cuss a lot. If you listen to what he says,
what's the C word?
CUN or. I'm not saying it.
So now I'm saying it in my house.
I really don't say it that, but he does. He says things, and you're just like, oh boy. But I respect the opinion in the room because it generates, if anything, it generates conversation.
Yeah, Mr. Billfold fucking with me. Banning, what do you got to say, sir? You've been on a few times with Izzo on here.
Man, I don't have any problems with Izzo. You know, that's what I love about the freaking amazing country we're in. You got your fucking opinion. And you can throw your opinion out there. I'm going to tell you, I've worked with some badass female officers, and I've worked with not so badass female officers. But the coin is the same on both sides. I've worked with some badass dude officers, and I've worked with some piece of shit. You know, it's the same. You know, pass the standard or don't. If you don't pass the standard, welcome to go somewhere else. Somebody else hire.
Look, Alan doesn't know. I just threw him on.
And here's the other thing. Dominic doesn't talk out of his ass, and he's very educated.
Yeah.
So if you're going to come at him, he will over-research everything and have and that's part of his ego. He doesn't like to be wrong. He doesn't want to he wants to win, and he doesn't do it at reckless cost. He does it at studying the topic and being very educated on it to make his point come across.
Agreed. Alan, you got anything to add, buddy?
No, sir. Just we did come up with an idea for retro rifle, the 4th of July G-strings.
Okay, we could do the same ones that they did on the Saturday Night Live skit with Will Ferrell.
That would work great.
Yeah,
those shirts we were talking about.
Exactly.
And we could do that DWI dance, or
right.
And I like floss for my teeth, but
not your butt crack. All right, let's go. I got one video left, so I want to get to that video because we've been plugging along. So I am going to share this screen. Share. Boom. We're gonna biggie size. Bow. Unmute and play. All right.
Hi, there's an armed robbery going down.
Didn't I just do this one?
I think I know what happens in this one.
Yeah, I think I just did this one.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. What's this one? We did that one. I lie. We're through all the videos.
Hey, did you have that video I sent you yesterday on your phone?
Which one?
The horse. We can end it with a good video.
Did you send?
I texted it to you, I thought.
Let me see here. Did you text it like directly?
I don't remember.
I don't know either.
It may have been with the group.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
If you can.
Because it was great. I mean,
I know, but the problem's going to be getting it on here. It was a TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
And friggin' Mr. Billfold just said he took a 5-hour nap for this live stream. So I'm sure you can get on YouTube. And I mean, if we've got the people that want to see some more, I'm not sure what Copville's schedule is. I don't want to impede on that. But
Copville's about out of gas.
Okay, I found it.
Rolls like 3.5 hours. So like some of us are like, dude, we got to go to the restroom, man.
Right. All right. Here's we'll do this as a closing video here. This is out of Modesto, and I did think this was pretty fucking funny because who's ridden horses quite a bit. I can tell you the horse is not happy. He's
pissed.
Yeah, he's not happy about what he's being forced to do right now because his ears are pinned. So
when he's about to do the hip turn. So if you're anywhere near in a crowd and you see that hip start to turn, you better be moving.
Yeah. Horses.
He's coming around.
They are such great crowd controllers. I will give them that.
I want to see him do the electric slide.
Yeah. So before we go, I want everybody again, Copville, could you let people know how to find you?
Instagram at Copville OG. Website is www.copvilleog.com. YouTube is youtube.com/@CopvilleOG. And I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh yeah, brother.
If you like bad memes and loud opinion and all that stuff, you love it. And I drop my podcast come out every Wednesday at noon on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Hell yeah. Guys, make sure you go give them a like, a follow, all that good stuff.
Yes, is Izzo.
Yes. Yeah. Go make sure you guys also say what's up to Izzo. Follow him. Please, for us, everybody that's dropped some memberships tonight and all that stuff. Thank you, Harrison Brock, Constitution Country Grill. If you can't support us financially, which we get, and we're not pushing that at all, do it for free. Just follow, like, subscribe. If you like what we're doing, the content we're putting out, it does go a long way with what we're doing and helps us out more than you know. So thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Banning, you got any closing words, sir?
No, I just appreciate everybody here, even the ones that don't enjoy law enforcement. That's what we're here for. We're here for the entire crew. We say it every podcast. We're not an echo chamber. We're not We're not belting this with a patrol uniform on. This is day in the life, and we try to share what law enforcement does, and we appreciate all the comments. Even
Heck yeah. Ones. You got anything, Alan?
No, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Look for us. We're going to start trying to share some of this vertically as well next week. So,
and what we mean by that is TikTok and Instagram, because their platforms are vertical. So, Trey, rookie, you get to go last.
Nah, man, I appreciate everybody, and Copville too. Thank you for jumping on, bro.
Yep, appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah,
I think,
guys.
Even for you specifically, bro, I feel like you probably don't reveal yourself as like a genuine dude on Instagram, but even just through this conversation, bro, like I can tell that that's definitely the case. So
I appreciate it. I try. I play the Copville thing up a little bit, and if you watch my podcast, I'm actually very calm and very.
No, I'm gonna check it out for sure. I'm definitely.
Don't forget to check out Counterculture as well. That's in my bio.
I've been looking at the Counterculture thing for a minute.
Yep, good people.
Hell yeah. Yep, and the Anti-Hero podcast guys.
And actually, I'll be on Anti-Hero Thursday live.
Yeah, nice. Check those guys out. Tyler, the Donut Shop podcast. Who else can we shout out? Eric Tanzi with the Erik Tanzi Official is another guy. Shit. Anybody I can't think of that you're
Izzo.
Yep, Dominic Izzo. Make sure to check him out. So yeah, a bunch of good material, guys, and good takes on police work. So everybody in the chat, or I'm sorry, in the actual podcast, all my people here on the panel, stick around real quick while we end this. And everybody else, thank you for tuning in. We will provide this audio on our podcast later on this week. Thank you for tuning in, and